Gonna change the world.
I'm a little sick today.
With my
I feel
hockey
amazing,
stick.
Gerald.
Gonna make a real difference.
Feed the poor and heal the sick.
Yeah, I'm sore today, Jared.
Oh, from what?
From what?
Oh, from all the
Well, the
fort
gy-
building.
Well, I was
Oh,
helping
yeah.
Jared make a luge yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I say helping, but really I was just doing
You
it
did
by
all.
myself
You
with
did
some
all.
help from Sammy.
Yeah, they did it all.
Yeah.
I
Jared texted me Sunday, hey, do you want to come build a fort? Jared, I got to work tomorrow.
Dude,
but-
that is
Did you
work.
think you were in a time capsule? You're like 13 again?
Yo.
Or
I was
12?
like,
How can you not say yes when an adult invites you over to build snow forts and luges and you're just like,
It's a snow day. You want to come
I
build a fort?
know.
if it was, if I
Nostalgic.
didn't have to be here the next day, it would have been,
Yeah,
The
okay.
fact that I have to then go
Mm.
2 days and it's taking 2 days out of.
You can't schedule when you have snow.
I was just
No.
thinking that would be content gold. You
Oh,
could
it
probably
could've been.
you could have filmed 5
Could have been.
bangers. It would have been work, work fun.
It would have been work fun. It would have been work fun.
But
But farts. Let's talk about farts quickly.
What?
just 'cause
we're going right there. Okay.
We were talking
That's
before
a
the
weird
podcast
turn.
started, and just how amazing farts are, and how we don't talk about this enough. And I think this is a topic that, like, when
Mhm.
someone farts, it's immediately gonna bring a smile to someone's face. It doesn't matter if
Is
it's
it really?
even the worst
It's
ones.
memorable. It's
even
memorable.
the worst ones. It depends. Like, if you're someone who doesn't receive a fart in a funny way,
Right.
I have a problem with you.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't laugh at a fart, even if it's horrible,
If-
if you and I have a problem with people who ignore it. Who
I'm
try to,
indifferent.
Actually, no, I have a
Yeah.
problem with people who ignore farts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just not okay with me. You have to acknowledge the farts around. If you're
Yep.
smelling it, you better say something, even if it's a did you fart?
Yeah.
Like, was that you? It wasn't me. And you got to own up to your fart. I'm a huge proponent of being
Oh,
I
honest
own
about
up.
your
I
farts.
own up, but I'm indifferent if someone else.
I
If they
get-
don't
I-
own up,
You're
I'm not
share
gonna
a
call
laugh.
them out.
You're gonna share a laugh. If someone farts, it's hilarious.
I get offended if someone asks me, "Did you fart?" Like, if I did, you would know,
Yes.
and I would. It wouldn't be a secret.
yeah. You're
I
gonna let-
don't-
Yeah. Exactly.
Now I just feel, do I stink? Like,
Yeah.
The context
know?
is important. though.
yeah.
And-
If you're
yeah.
if you're socializing with your significant other's like family at like a Christmas party,
Yeah.
and you're in like a group, you're talking, and you let one squeak out, and are you gonna interrupt the conversation and be like, "I just farted"?
I feel like it's the onus is on you to let the room know.
But I feel like in that
or
situation,
are you just gonna let the person next beside you just
you crop dust them.
air? You're just gonna let it, and then now no one could say anything, and you've created this smoke. You've created this like thick air in the room, and now it's like no one could say anything, but
someone-
everyone wants to acknowledge this absolute
Hey,
bomb.
at
So
a-
someone lets out a cough like.
Oh, like Hayden, was that you? Was that like you know what I mean?
So that's
Your
the thing.
father-in-law.
at a table setting, because it's proximity. You're gonna smell it first, right? And then
Yo, you can hide it at
right,
the table setting.
no, everyone's like, no, oh, do you guys smell that? Right? And
No,
then
it's just the gravy.
I smell it, and then the next person smells it, and you just go by process of elimination. Who smelled it? It's either them or the person next to them that let it rip, and now all eyes are on the 2 people, right? It's either the one who smelt it or.
No, you can hide it at like one of those big Christmas dinners because you got the cauliflower and cheese dip. You got
Right.
the
Oh,
gravy.
okay.
You can kind of it's gonna mix
you
in.
open the cauliflower
yeah,
pot.
it kind of mixes in, right? So it's like you. Can
Yeah,
hide
so
it.
you think you're being sly and you open it up.
No, but the silent ones.
Steam
The
it.
silent ones are usually the ones that are just brutal, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna open up the gravy dish.
What you got to do is stand up and then walk around the table and grab something from the other side and walk back around. So it's
So
evenly distributed.
everyone knows it's you.
No, so it's evenly distributed.
Literally everyone gets a whiff as you walk by.
Exactly. Like
See?
farts aren't appreciated enough, and I just wanted to start this podcast off by saying if you're someone who doesn't acknowledge a fart, or you're someone who doesn't let
Mhm.
others know,
Yeah.
and someone that doesn't laugh at a fart,
Embrace it, share it.
I have a problem with you.
You're sharing your innermost feelings with others.
Exactly.
Chippy's
that
coming
feeling in
for
your
you
stomach.
in your
It's
DMs.
a natural thing, and it's a natural mystic flowing through the air when you release a fart.
Going back to Chippy's earlier statement, it's, he knows what type of person you are by how you react, right? So a great way, if you're meeting a new group of people for the very first time, right? You're kind of unsure, uncomfortable, just let one rip, and you see how everyone responds.
You know whether you want to be friends or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You're,
Like
you're gonna pick out the personalities that you
the
gel
best
with.
ones are, buddy, that's awful, dude. No, that's
Ah.
awful. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
you
yeah.
want them to tell you that because you're like, that makes me feel like a man.
And
When your buddy goes, oh, that's just awful.
and if someone is
And then
like,
you're laughing at him,
Yeah.
right? And then you're
and if someone's like, legitimately hurt and like offended, then maybe just distance yourself from that person.
Yeah,
You're not going to
exactly.
get along.
First date, Chippy, or first date vibes, you can tell real quick if it's the type of girl you like or not.
Yeah, there's a tester right there. You get through everything, and you show your true colors right away. We're not hiding anything here.
All right, we're gonna get into
We
some
could go
hockey
into Dutch
talk,
ovens,
guys.
but we're just gonna stay away from that topic. I think.
Oh yeah, let us know in the comments because
Your worst and best fart experiences in the comments.
Dutch oven experiences.
it's a real good relationship builder, I think.
So anyway,
Yeah, sorry guys.
Bedsy wants to play hockey in latest news.
Yep.
Is that even
Shocker.
real shocker?
I was telling you guys, you said, oh, he's going to be out, this and that. I'm like, he played with a broken arm. He's training. So Nick Foligno has to basically pull it, like, urge him, don't step on the ice, buddy, relax, try to. And obviously, Bedsy wants to be out there training. He wants to go to practice.
This is a skit.
It's, oh, no, it is. Yeah. It's your jaw. You don't stick handle with your jaw. You're not shooting the puck with your jaw. Obviously, don't take contact or anything. But yeah, you can still get a stick in your hand and still hone your skills and get better and improve.
I'm sure the medical staff is pleased that he's out there, though, because every time you shoot the puck and you see him close his eyes, he's clenching that jaw.
Yeah.
You know?
That thing tight. You got that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like they've got to have the biggest mouth guard in his freaking.
Yeah, and
Put
I
some
will
pillows
say
around
it's
it.
like not like it's an ACL or like a. It's like the jaw. I feel like you can still use your
You
legs.
can still
your arms.
move around like
All
he
you have
wants.
to just like after the surgery, you have to let it like heal a little bit.
It's a long way from the heart.
Yeah, it's a long way from the not too long though. It's actually
No, it's actually pretty close. Especially
you know what I mean. You could
if
really
you-
be over.
we kind of like.
But you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was
centimeters
it
away.
was a knee or a broken arm or something like where you're really bedridden for a long time. Like he could have been doing his
The
quad.
classic high ankle
squats.
sprain.
Yeah,
Those
you know,
ones
like,
end
those
up
ones are
being-
brutal. Those nagging ones.
Yeah.
So this one, they had to repair. I'm surprised they actually had to do the surgery. I guess if it was a fracture.
Yeah.
I don't know what you even do with that. Like
I
you
think
just
they
go in
kind
there
of
and, like,
they
glue it?
usually take a week or so to assess it. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
Then they decide whether or not it needs surgery or if you can just kind of let it heal.
What do you do with that? Like,
I have no idea.
yeah, like,
I'm
that
not a
just
doctor.
seems Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how that is. That how intrusive is that?
It also seems like he didn't get blown up that much. Like if you watch it, it's like he bumped into the guy.
It was just a
How did-
fluky.
Guy's got.
Betsy got to drink some milk.
He's got bones of steel. The guy who hit him. I don't.
As he's
know.
drinking tons of milk,
Yes.
Jerry. He's
I'm
drinking
just
tons-
saying,
Don't,
how's-
don't say anything about my client. Don't say anything about my client right now. Bedsy's drinking a ton of milk, and he's. Have
is
you
this-
seen his forearms and his legs?
Is this going to be
That's all I'm
something we
gonna
have to
say.
look out for? Like, say a few years from now, if Chicago is making the playoffs, our guy's going to be targeting the jaw.
Targeting. Well, he's gonna have his
Oh.
fishbowl on. He's gonna be the first
Oh.
player.
Preventative.
Fishbowl Bedsy is gonna be such a dangerous Bedsy.
Are they going to let him come back with the fishbowl because he needs it for his
He's gonna
jaw?
play it for the rest of
And
the year.
then he creates such an icon, comes back, gets like 3 hat tricks in a row, and they're like,
Everyone's
we can't take this away from him.
yeah, we can't take the fishbowl off.
I-
No.
I've got a theory. So, Bedsy is obviously just dominant. Chicago's got the cap space. They're not adding anyone. If anything, everyone in Chicago is getting injured miraculously.
They're telling Bedsy, you're playing too good, man. You gotta slow
That's
down.
Oh,
what I'm
Is this
saying.
a
Hey,
Jeremy conspiracy
Hey,
theory?
Bedsy, why don't you bump into someone so you can say you got a fractured jaw? You already got the point lead for rookie Calder by like 15 points. You can take, we're winning some games, and this is a problem because we're trying to tank for Celebrini. San Jose, we're not far away from San Jose. We just need to lose a few more games so we can be in the draft for Celebrini.
Oh,
Right, and then
Yeah.
Anaheim sees this. Oh, Zegras, yeah, you got to get injured too, bud. Like we're trying to take some talent off the table
Okay.
here.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying there's some internal teams tanking going on.
Oh, coach, my jaw hurts a little bit. Let me take a look at it. Oh, it's broken. Are you sure? No, it doesn't feel. No, it's broken. Yeah, send it to medical staff, guys. If you can't tell, I'm winking right now. I'm doing a winking face. It's broken, guys. Oh yeah, broken. 6 weeks. Gotta be up for 6 weeks.
Celebrini is that guy. Celebrini is Hemi Neutron. Is that what we're saying?
Is it a surprise?
Celebrini is Hemi
Is it a
Neutron.
Hey, how
We need
come
'em.
all these players on the bottom feeding teams are getting injured right after the World Juniors, right after Celebrini was just a stud? I mean, didn't win gold or anything like that,
But
but
he just
it's
looked like
seems
he's
a little
that guy. He's
suspicious.
that guy.
Hey, none of the top 5 guys are getting injured.
I
Eh.
think there's somewhere in the middle ground here. Bedsy gets injured. They don't have much incentive to bring him back quickly because who cares? They would rather lose.
Mm.
But I don't think that they're faking injury.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's insane. to
no.
say.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would never happen. That would never happen.
It's a
in
fun,
the NHL.
fun thought conspiracy. That would never happen, right, guys?
That never happen.
I'm
Boy,
just
Bedsy's
saying.
not
Batman, Batman would never.
Not on Bedsy's watch. He's been itching to get out there. Yeah, coach. I'm not missing no games.
I think Chicago has like 8 of their top guys injured though. Like
Yeah,
it's-
they have
it's
like 11 injuries.
crazy.
Someone else is like that too. I think.
Well, last
another
episode you
team.
said they had
Their cap hit was 13.9 or
for
something.
one
like that.
game they had like a 13, 14
That's
million dollar
hilarious.
cap
And then there's the Leafs.
team.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then for the rookie of the year, obviously Bedard.
Calder.
Yeah, Calder. Bedard
What-
is.
what are these
top.
other guys doing? Like, what's Fantilli doing?
Yo, we got Marco Rossi.
Carlson?
Marco Rossi is right behind Bedard. He's got like 22 or 23 points, and Bedard's got 33. But we got Fantilli at around 22 points, and then I'd say one of the best is Connor Zary from
I
Calgary.
think Fantilli's got more.
Maybe he got a few last night. I don't know. But Connor Zary for Calgary is playing great, and he's actually plus 13. He's plus 13. Bedard is like a dash 22 or dash 25 or something like
Oh,
that.
the plus minus it doesn't matter. That
He's
doesn't
not even.
matter.
He's not even in the top 5 for the sports books options here. I'm seeing.
Who?
Who'd you say?
Zary?
Connor Zary.
He's
Oh,
like the
Zary.
bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he's 5th out of
Yeah.
Can
out
we
of
look?
4. But you're saying like you think that's a dark horse to pick?
I'm just saying
Fantilli
it's
would win.
impressive. It's not going to make a difference because they don't look at that. They're going to look at points, I'd say. Marco Rossi and Fantilli are the only people who compete. But with Bedard out, if he's out for, say, 6 weeks, is it going to make this Calder Rookie of the Year selection a little more difficult? Or is that just going to be a non-issue?
Right.
Just go to rookies, maybe.
No, I already got him.
What do you think?
25 points.
Boys, do you think he's still a shoo-in? Do you think it's a sure thing he's winning Rookie of the Year?
I think he's he's going to be the gambling
If he comes
favorite
back.
for then pretty much unless he falls off the face of the earth and can't play again. That like in terms of betting odds, I think that's the case. But I think that it's a toss up between him and the like 2 or 3 other people who
We got Marco Rossi and Fantilli, right?
I think
Yeah.
Fantilli, like if Fantilli keeps playing and he goes past 33 points,
Yeah. He's more of a name. He's a bigger
But it
name.
also
Like,
depends-
you haven't really heard of Marco Rossi,
Yeah.
right? Although he's doing great. He's heading. He's
like you can't give a rookie of the year to someone who's played half a season. If like Fantilli plays
Can't
and
you?
gets 50 points, yeah,
But-
you can't give it to a guy with.
it depends on how many points.
What if
yeah.
Fantilli gets 50 and Bedard has 45 in half of a season? Would you
No,
not
but
give
that's
it?
what I'm saying if he comes back, like if Bedard does come
He
back.
has to come back. He's gonna come back, but
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like, will it make that big of a difference? You're gonna give it to Bedard
It
because
goes to whoever gets the most points. Like in my opinion, the rookie race is the most points.
Not always. Not
It
always.
should be. Yeah.
It's
I-
okay.
You shouldn't get what's it called? What's the word? Rewarded for getting injured. Like you're getting rewarded as a rookie for being able to play 82 games. Like there's other parts, there's other components, right? Like
But it's not like just that cut and dry because there's been debate who's going to win it. Like every year there's a question who's going to win Rookie of the Year,
I
who's going
think
to win
for
it.
me,
Sometimes a defenseman does really well and he might deserve it. He got fewer points or even a goalie, right? Sometimes goalie wins Rookie of the Year, right?
barely ever. but
Not often.
For me, I think there's 2 things. Chippy's right that it's primarily based on who gets the most points. Goals are weighted more heavily because if they get in
True,
the
true.
highlight reel more, they get more votes.
The highlight reel.
is it voting? How does it work? Who votes? Like,
it's-
if it's fans,
the league
it's gonna be
picks.
Bedard.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
No, it's voted.
it's body of work.
Is it?
It's voted by like media members and like a
Oh,
select
yeah,
list
yeah,
of
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like not crowd voted.
No.
Yeah, obviously
not fan
they
vote.
don't put it to that, but it's like the media and people that are unbiased supposedly.
Yeah, like if
Um,
Fantilli gets up to 20 goals and
Back to what I was
Makes
saying
sense.
though, it's 2 things. It's whoever gets the most points.
Yep.
Goals are weighted more, and also if their team has made an impact in the year, like they had like a good playoff run, like there's
Oh, I see.
like their team, they need to have their success needs to kind of coincide with their team a little bit. It can't be like, okay, they led their team in scoring, but it's tough. Like if you're on the bottom team in the league and you're still bottom team in the
yeah,
league.
like
you know?
Nyes, like was Nyes not in the running?
He was to begin with.
What's
but-
he? What points is he at? Because I feel like he could win this thing.
I know he doesn't have nearly as many, man.
Does he not?
No, I don't think so.
He's been playing on that.
Who are you
he's
talking
been
about?
Playing on line 1 with Pappy and Marn.
Oh, Matt Nyes, no, he's not close.
He could though. I'm telling you, he could light it up.
Here,
If they,
I'll pull it up while
yeah,
we're,
let's just take a look.
while we're
here,
seeing
'cause
here. I don't think Matthew Nyes is going to be like in the top 5 voting though. Like
he should be like the way he's playing though. Like as a vet, he plays like a vet.
Hey,
Like,
why don't you
just
just
up-
pull up the rookie scoring leaders
That's what I was gonna
instead of
say.
1 by 1?
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. But
Go back. It's right on the homepage. It says it. Go back to the stats thing.
I'm literally on the Leafs roster though.
I know, but it's not as fun unless you can compare everyone. He's got 16 points.
Yeah, so he's
but like +3, like like you know.
but
what
he's
I
on the
mean?
top line.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. He's playing like
Like, you're
harder-
gonna
he's
be
playing
po-
against line ones. He's playing against line ones.
Yeah, but you're going to be positive when you're on a line with Matthews, you know?
not necessarily with our.
I think I might be +3 on a line with Matthews.
Well, it's like I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. You can just coast around, make sure you get
Yeah.
the puck out of the zone. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Just clear the zone and let them do the
Don't
work.
turn the puck over in the
like
blue line.
Way, just
You're
the
good.
way he plays though, like he's not gonna be getting the point. He's a grinder, but like he's just like.
Oh, I
he
love
plays
Matthew
like a
Nyes.
vet, dude.
I just don't think he's going to get the votes, especially because he's in Toronto.
Okay,
Here's a hot take.
so,
He's
so we
putting up
got
65 plus points. next
top
year.
5 scoring for rookies here. Connor Bedard with 33. We got Adam Fantilli with 25 points. We got Marco Rossi, 12 goals, 12 assists, 24
Luke
points.
Hughes.
And then Luke
Yeah,
Hughes as a defenseman, 23 points. So he could be in the there. Like, I think they only took 3 people that they nominate, right? The
goes
top
to-
3 are all
yeah.
centermans.
It goes to show it ain't easy as a rookie in this league.
And then Connor Zary is 22 points. But like he's plus 13. All the other guys are taking a minus except for Marco Rossi. So I mean, I think that's pretty impressive. But with that being said, I think Connor Bedard's shoo-in. He's rookie of the year.
I mean, he's playing with absolutely like nobody.
He gets 15 posts a day on the NHL social media. Like, how do you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you?
Unless he falls off the face of the earth and doesn't like barely plays the rest of the year,
Yeah.
he's winning. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost a no-brainer.
But that also just like I'm looking at those numbers. I'm like, man, like Bedard under even like, to be a point per game in the show
Mm-hmm.
is like so elite. And then
On a
to
team
see
with
guys,
nobody.
But then to see guys like just make it look so easy. Like you're looking at Kucherov, you're looking at McDavid,
Yeah.
McKinnon. Like these guys are like getting 2 points a game. It's
Yeah.
like, holy, you're just in a different.
But
level
imagine
of,
Bedard had, like
Matthews, like scoring. What he had like 19 goals in his last 17 games. Like
Yeah.
that's absurd.
Okay, here's another hypothetical. Even though I'm going to take this from Hayden, take Bedard and trade him to Tampa, right? So now he's in Kucherov's position. He's got Stamkos point. He's got Hedman. Like,
Yeah, but then,
Beat him-
those other guys are getting like you have to be that guy getting the points. You know what I mean? Like when you have all those other guys, your stats actually could be.
you don't
bit
You
think?
have to share the. You have to share the stat. You have to share the goals, right? Like, you have to
I
share.
don't know.
No, because it can't go through everyone every time.
Look at
right?
goal,
So
yeah,
if-
but look at goals for. Like, Tampa's scoring a lot more goals than Chicago is scoring.
are they? We have to look that up.
I can guarantee you that because you're not last place in the league or close to it and scoring a ton of goals. It just doesn't happen. But also, like their top line is going to be like, if you're getting passes from Hedman, right? He's leading the power play. He's quarterbacking that power play. You know you're going to move the puck around a lot better.
Bedsy would get a lot more looks, a lot more points, I think.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
he's
go
playing
through him
with-
as much though. Like maybe he likes like I think Betsy's a puck dominant player.
Yeah,
Like he likes.
he
that
wants to
puck.
just do it all.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it would be the night and day difference, like you're saying, Chippy. I feel like he would get more points
Yes.
just naturally, especially
Yes.
with the power play.
He'd be more McDavid-esque,
in
like
Tampa.
3 and 4 point nights.
But the other thing is,
Yeah.
you swap them. I don't think that he would do better than Kucherov.
no, not
Maybe-
right now. Not right now.
Maybe you swap him now with Kucherov 4 years ago, and give Bedsy like the 3 or 4 years to develop in the league. Then he'll be better.
Yes, Kucherov is seasoned.
Kucherov
Yeah.
is
Yes.
nasty. Dude.
Yeah.
Like he's underrated.
Yeah, and he's an
He-
aggressive player.
He leads
too.
he leads
Yeah.
the point. Like he's dominating and like he's still underrated. Like people are still like he had 135 that one year. Like
Yeah, it's
just under McDavid. Like I think he's actually the most underrated.
sleeper.
I
sleeper
hate,
top 5.
I hate that
Yeah,
that
like,
last year I was
sleeper, dude.
I was making fun of Sean Avery. He had just launched a podcast, and he was saying that Kucherov does more for his team than McDavid. And I was like, come on, like what a joke take. Like he's obviously just saying that to get views because we all know McDavid is just like the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you look at the top 3 in the league for power play points. It's McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Draisaitl. Like obviously McDavid is the reason for all these guys. Like half their points are on the power play.
the only argument is full ice play,
Right.
not only offense. Because
Yeah.
like McDavid is just so far and away the most effective offensive producer in the league.
Yeah.
Like not goals itself, but he basically results in goals.
Yeah.
That's why he leads the league in points every year, regardless of how many
Yes.
games he plays. Like he could play half of the season and
Yeah.
still be in the conversation for most points in the year sometimes.
But
Yeah, it's insane.
I was surprised to see Kucherov leading by so much. Like he's
But I'm not
up
because like he's always up there with McDavid. Like
Yeah,
him, like
true.
they're always like he's underrated. Like
Yeah.
we actually, because I don't watch him every night. Like
Mhm.
whenever he plays the Leafs, he's getting 4. Like it seems like if that puck on the like their power play is so lethal, like that shot from Stamkos, and then you have Kucherov on the other side.
so
The goalie doesn't know where to bite to.
Kucherov is really smart because he has a good one-timer from his spot,
Oh,
and
then he passes it when he, like
exactly
that's such a nasty.
he will
player,
let
dude.
that rip and it'll go in, right? And then the next power play he'll set up in the same spot and he'll tee it up the same way, and then the goalie is like, oh no, this shot is coming. The goalie slides across and then he puts it into the middle
That's
for
what
the
the Leafs
bumper
don't
guy
have.
and he bumps it in.
The Leafs don't have that.
So he's got a 1-2 option.
Braden Point has like made bread and butter from being the bumper guy just
Yeah.
because
Ugh.
Kucherov sets him up with like these tap in
And-
middle of the net goals. Like
Why
the
don't-
goalies commit
yeah.
so much to slide over
Yes.
that Point just has to put it roughly in the one side of the net and he'll
But
score.
it's so smart. It's a chess play, right? Like he's playing
He's
chess
playing
right
chess.
there
There's
where
two
he's
options.
yeah.
And both are like 1A, 1B,
Ugh.
and
And
either
then-
of them.
and if
at
he
any
doesn't
moment-
pass it, like if the lane isn't there, sometimes if there's a guy going to block it, he'll wind up for the shot, then he'll just catch it, push it out, then rip it.
Yes,
Mm.
but
And I've
it's
seen him
also the accuracy of that one timer because
Yeah.
you could like our guys like will just like miss the net and
Yeah.
it goes all the way out of the zone.
Yeah.
It seems like Kucherov, if it doesn't hit, like it doesn't go in, it's like hitting a pad and it's a bumper out to the bumper.
That's
it's
just
not
like a
in there.
team strategy, non-selfish shooting type thing.
Why don't the Leafs take like study that power play? Like we have no like one timer guy. Even Matthews, like he kind of started to do
Yeah,
the one timer,
Yeah.
but he's like going so low on this crazy angle. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He's,
I
like,
mean, he
down
does
the-
score it,
He
but
does, but like
It's
get
harder.
Up, get up a little higher, and then we need Willie Styles to develop that one timer because all our guys want to like hold it. That's why we're not scoring on the power plays because we don't have that. Just immediately shoot it.
the
Like
Pasternak,
we're
Kucherov,
waiting.
the
You-
quick release,
you-
just
you
get it
need-
on the net.
You need
yeah.
a right-handed shot in the OV spot, right on top of the circle. That
on
can
both
just,
sides.
left side doesn't hurt, but like the gloves are a little bit
No,
better.
but if you have both, like if you have the guy up top,
Yeah.
that can feed either side. It's like Carlson. It was like John Carlson, and then Ov, and then I feel like you just need both sides to have because Marner's side, you're like, oh, he's gonna pass it, he's gonna do that little bumper play. Whereas Kucherov is so much more dangerous than a Marner because he can not only rip it, but he also has the Marner ability to put cross seam.
Yeah.
And so Marner's like, oh, like he might shoot it, but he kind of wants to pass it, and it's held, turn, wrist shot,
Yeah.
as opposed to Kucherov's like a one touch.
You want to know what I've been thinking about the Leafs power play lately?
I'd love to know.
It's
They've
struggling.
been putting Nylander on the side so he is a shooting threat,
Yep.
and they can, like you said, shoot from both sides, Matthews and Nylander. But the problem is that, like you said, Nylander takes his time. What I want to see them do is put Marner back on that off wing because he's an elite guy to move it around the perimeter.
Yeah, to facilitate.
Instead of putting Marner in the bumper spot, swap Nylander in there so that they can get a bit of a quick release shooting threat. Because Nylander historically has been really good down low and in like below the slot scoring, getting rebounds, getting quick shots off.
Yeah, quick hands.
Quick hands,
tight,
right?
Yeah.
So if like Matthews is on the side and everyone adjusts over to him, and even if he throws it on and there's a rebound, I'd rather have Nylander there than Marner because Marner's gonna be open for the pass, but he's always looking to move it away from the
Yeah.
dangerous spot. Whereas if you get the puck to Nylander in the middle, he's just gonna put it in. You know,
Yeah.
like you want someone in the middle that's like him and Tavares pounding away in front of the net. That's
Yeah,
the best they could
Tavares
be on
is
the power
A
play.
beast in front of the net. Like
Yeah.
he can tip. That's where Tavares stands. I think that's a.
Like I think the
we
reason
shouldn't- we should be dominating. Like our power play should be like Boston, Tampa, Colorado. Like
Well-
we're sixth. We are sixth, but the way I've looked at it, last two games, like we haven't scored a power play goal.
well,
Like
look
no
at
threat.
Yikes.
look
No
at what
threat.
Tavares has been the best down low, like in front of the net power play guy for a long time.
Yeah, like
But
yeah.
without Nylander there to also be
Yeah.
pounding away, he's just getting outworked in front of the net. Like
yes,
he can't get any sticks on the
and
puck.
we're not shooting. Our problem is like our we have no goals from the point. Like we're not going to win a playoff series if we're not scoring
Those
from the
point
point.
shots are important.
Every playoff series, you could go back to any team that's won. They've had a defenseman with 7 goals in the
Brent
playoffs.
Burns firing it, just
Yeah.
even if it
Just
misses the
firing
net,
it,
it
yeah,
goes off the
it's-
boards, goes in front of the net for a rebound type thing.
Just shoot it. Like
Get it through
Riley
traffic.
needs to shoot. Like he's starting to shoot, but like just shoot the thing because like
that's the thing. The Leafs
don't
only
shoot.
have they've never had a right-handed defenseman that's actually good at getting the puck through and scoring. Like Liljegren
Never.
is the closest thing they've had to
Yeah.
being able to do that, and he makes dumb mistakes too often.
Oh, he
Like the
you've
other night,
noticed that. I'm glad you noticed that.
He
like,
tries to shoot it through. He hits the guy in the shin pad. They get the empty net goal.
Shin
Yeah.
pads. Hey,
Yeah.
shin pads.
He,
Shin
shin pad-
pads.
No, he's just like I like Liljegren's game. He's very skilled. He just like you said, he'll just have these brain farts.
Yeah,
As my AAA coach used to say, these brain.
you gotta
farts.
laugh at farts though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You gotta laugh at it, but like it's like he's so skilled, and then he'll shin pad one, or he'll like whiff an outlet pass, and you're like a turnover, and it goes like.
You know what the
there's too many
worst
of
kind
those
of
guys
fart
on the
is?
team. The whiffs.
The brain farts.
Yeah, the brain farts. Right. Yeah, especially
Wah, wah.
the Jake Gardner Game 7 farts. Okay, like.
Oh, oh.
Yes, that's past trauma. That's
Yeah,
like
sorry,
5 years of
sorry,
trauma.
sorry, I had to-
Now I
that
have
was-
to
that
book
was
a
so
meeting with
deep
my
within.
therapist again.
I had to get it out. I'm glad you guys gave me
I
a
thought I
chance
moved
to air
past
that
this.
out.
I thought I moved past this, but nope, there it is. There's the pain
That's
again.
exactly it. Is that the Leafs haven't had a defenseman like Morgan's making $7 million a year. We need him to be scoring 20 goals.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
He needs to
like
be a 20 goal scorer.
Hey,
he's
Was-
got to be like a
was easy,
Petrangelo level player, basically.
Yeah,
Boys,
we need it.
but here's the thing: you're hating on the Leafs. You know, you're talking about we need to score.
We're
But
coaching them.
Hey?
We're coaching them right now. hoping
They've
they're gonna
lost
miss
3
one.
straight. What are you talking
we
about?
we got Marner, Matthews, Riley, and
Nylander
And
and
Nylander?
Jarvis on the power play.
no in the All Star game. Hey, we got a team full of All
we
Stars.
do have a team full of all stars.
So
They should get
That's
rescinded.
why our
not
power.
allowed
That's
to
why
go.
we're talking about the power play, because how is a 5 all stars on a power play not
and how do
hurting?
they dominate every 3-on-3?
How do, yeah, exactly.
how
We're
do they not
losing- we're losing
end-
every overtime?
How?
I don't
I don't understand that.
It's insane.
So
Ugh.
I have a theory
Yeah.
on that, and we might as well dive into the Leafs here.
Okay.
Okay.
My
I'm all
my
in.
theory is that too much of a good thing is a bad thing, and the Leafs have too much players that to spread the goals around.
Mm.
You know, they're all thinking, "I got to be the hero. I'm making 10 million plus. I got to be the hero. I got to be the hero." Then you look at a team like Colorado. They have one line.
Yeah.
know?
Why don't we do that? Like,
They have one line. They have
Yeah.
McKinnon, Devon Taves, McCarr, and I mean when Landeskog's in the
Rantanen.
lineup, Rantanen is
Rantanen is
probably the
so
best one,
dirty, dude.
right? So they have one top line and one top defensive unit that
They
is
still
just
have
nasty.
Landeskog, right?
Yeah, but he's been injured for
And
a long time.
Lettinen? Do they have Lettinen still or no? No, they dished him a while ago, didn't
I
they?
don't know. That McKinnon line is just
But anyway,
dominated us.
too much of a good thing
Yeah.
is a bad thing.
Mm.
And the Leafs don't have they can't outscore their problems in the playoffs, so then they're all trying to be a hero
Yeah.
instead of just having guys that make smart plays and get the puck to the good players they have.
I got another theory. I'm gonna just sort of piggyback on yours.
Mm-hmm.
You get these guys that just know they're like that guy. You got 3 of them on the ice at a time, and they're going against, let's say, Anaheim or Seattle, and they're just like,
I mean, Seattle's been playing pretty good lately.
But-
Maybe San Jose.
no, that's what I'm saying though. Like they look at, oh, who's Seattle putting out on their first line?
Oh, because they're not the star power.
They're not the Stars,
Right.
They're not us.
Yeah.
We're us.
We're him.
We are him, right? So they probably sit on, they're skating out and they look at each other and they give their little like, yeah, right?
Right.
Cruise control,
Cruise
control, and then Yanni Gord just blows the
Yeah.
doors off the dealer. Whoa, where are these guys coming, right? And they just got these grinders who just want it and are outworking them, getting the puck, and they're like,
That's
guys,
what's missing.
it's been 3 minutes. We haven't touched the puck.
Yes.
Like the other team wins the
Yes.
face-off, and then they skate around hoping that there's a turnover, and there isn't, and they just pressure. Like by the time they finally get the puck, they have to do a line change.
You know, I have a theory here.
Yeah.
The reason the Leafs have this cloud over them the past how many years is because there's a reputation that's been built. And it's, if we outwork them, we'll beat them. And I don't think the Leafs have
Ever
No.
outworked
in my entire life ever outworked the
A
other
team
team.
No,
Ever.
they don't need
Ever.
to, and that's
Okay,
you see the playoffs, and
That's
you're like,
what. Okay, that's one word. It's one word, and this is the word. This is something I had. Okay, this is just the word. You guys have heard this word from
Yep.
me. What separates a AAA from any other
yeah,
from a double? Compete.
compete.
Okay, this word and any hockey player listening to this at home or parents, there's one word that separates elite hockey players,
Mhm.
and it's compete. It's hating to lose.
Yeah.
It's going into that corner. I've seen Matthews when he gets angry.
You
And
need
he
to
gets,
beat Nathan McKinnon level. You
it's
hate.
McKinnon, but you see McKinnon? He runs guys over. He is the ultimate warrior, and you're not. And hockey is a gladiator sport.
Yeah.
So when McKinnon, Rantanen are going in versus a floating, and I love Matthews. You know, I mean, I love Marner. Like, it's just I'm thinking I'm going into a puck battle winning one of those. You know what I mean? Like, the compete's not there.
You have to hate losing more
Like,
than you love
But
winning.
Matthews can be the hardest player in the world to get the puck off of, and he's the one of the
When
best
he's fired up.
when he's fired up. It just seems like they're never fired up,
Yeah.
except for when we're down a goal and we're cold our goalie.
It makes
And you're like,
they're
oh
only-
my god, we're dominating. Look at this. Why didn't we do this all game? Like, look at Matthews going in, lifting the puck, throwing his weight around,
Oh,
and they're angry. And I'm
love
like,
it.
this is the difference.
That's the hockey that's fun to
McKinnon
watch.
plays every shift like that,
Yeah,
though. Like,
yeah.
he's in there, and he wants to blow the doors off the defenseman with a huge hit. He wants to, he's aggressive. And I even noticed last night when I played, I got a little angry.
Oh, you did. Your
And
best
everyone,
shift.
you noticed.
Your
but,
best
but
shift.
you noticed.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, shit, this guy's actually
Oh, yeah.
now, I brought my level up game up.
I mean,
so-
your whole game was great.
yeah, but I wasn't competing.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
wasn't
wasn't
the same.
actually, when I'm playing, I'm floating. Like, I floated all game. You know, I'm playing, trying not to make a mistake.
Yep.
But I didn't really go end to end. I could every shift I could do that. You know what I mean? Take the puck and
Some
and
games you
skate.
do.
And some games I do, and those are my best games when I'm just in the game and you're not angry. Like, there's a little bit of anger that's good. You know what I mean? There is an amount of anger that just makes you make stupid decisions.
And that's the thing with the Leafs that I've
they don't ever
noticed.
have that little bite.
There's flashes of it where they dominate, but they don't put it together for a whole game ever.
Yes.
Ever.
I've never seen it. Like there'll be games where they come out flying and I'm like, well, this is going to be a third
Yeah, we're up
period
3-0,
nightmare.
we're up 3-0.
Yeah.
Or they come out and they're dogging it in the first period, but then they manage to scrape out of it with like only a 1-goal deficit. I'm like, yeah, they're going to win this game.
Yeah,
Right.
But it's like they never come out and just like, yep, they won this game from the get-go
They
the
don't
whole
want
time.
it the whole game.
And that's why they lose in the playoffs, because you can't play in the playoffs without wanting to win
Yes,
every second
yes.
of every shift.
We just match our opponents. Like, we go in Anaheim, we're just gonna cruise.
Yeah, that's why they always lose to the worst teams.
Yeah.
It pains me to watch them in the playoffs because it doesn't feel like playoff hockey. I remember watching playoff hockey and it was different. It was a different game.
It still is.
Completely-
It still is different in a game. We just don't play a different game.
That's what I'm-
Every
I've-
other team does.
That's what I'm saying. You watch them and it's like they're just like, oh yeah, we didn't win that one, but we'll get them next game. It's like play like you care.
I have an
Play,
example.
you know what I mean? I feel it. It's like play like you're with some intensity.
Yeah, intensity.
Right?
Exactly. That's the word. Intense.
Play with some intensity. Play like the
urgency.
games.
Like it
yeah,
matters.
urgency.
Li-
There's
li-
no
like it's-
sense of urgency.
like
no
it's
sense
life
of
or
urgency.
death. Like play
Yeah.
like it's life or death.
Yeah. I have an example of that. And it goes back to, what season was it? 2019, 2020 maybe? Or maybe the one after that. It was the Florida matchup.
Mm.
Florida versus Tampa.
Yep.
And that was just like a blood battle. The most entertaining playoff
Yes.
series I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And I was more looking forward to watching that than the Leafs ones, because the Leafs ones I was miserable because I could see they weren't
It's
they
just
weren't
like,
trying.
throw a hit.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't hit. And my dad says it every game. This team is never thrown a hit. They don't know how. Like they just don't throw hits.
Yep.
It's like the game plan should be for every team. All you have to do is hit. All you have to do is from the get go, because we hate it. We can't stand it. We don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna turn it over. We don't like to be hit. We're gonna give up the puck. Like
That's what I'm saying. They just have to outwork them and outbody them.
Give me a team
Yeah.
that's full of guys who just
hammer
compete.
guys, not even hammer guys, just grinders, just
For-
Chris Kreiders of the world.
Yanni Gord, Connor
Oh,
Brown.
Yanni Gord. Is
We
a-
shouldn't have let
Hyman.
Hyman go.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
Hyman, yeah. Imagine guys like a full team full of like Hyman,
Trevor
and
Moore, like Trevor
Gordy,
Moore, like he was a grind. I was watching the hit on Chara in that playoff series.
Oh yeah.
Gallagher, hey,
Oh, just those guys,
Oh,
like
yeah.
those
Brendan Gallagher.
sandpapers.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like
Give me 3 lines of that at least, and oh, like, okay, give me some talent on the top line, and then 3 lines of guys who just like hate to lose.
Marchand, like
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
yeah.
like there are examples of
Sid?
teams that have had regular season success and some playoff success that don't necessarily like grind their opponent down like we're talking here. Like
Yeah.
Carolina, for example. They don't strike me as like we are being super physical all the time, but they play a structured game
Yeah.
and they play hard.
skate
They
you into the ground.
they win the puck battles, like the races to the puck, and they
Yes.
play a good team defensive structure.
Yeah.
And that's why they're successful in the playoffs, because they play as a good unit. But the Leafs don't have either. They don't
No,
have a
there's
good
no structure.
Yeah.
the defensive zone coverage is
Atrocious.
abysmal.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like I watch it. It's every time they like all sit there in like the slot and they just let the team snap it around. It's like a power play. Like if you
Yeah.
watch this, they collapse into this like box.
Their little
and-
bubble. Yeah.
And then it's like a shooting gallery.
They're like, I hope no one
No,
bursts
it's
my
a
bubble.
It's a shooting gallery because you're standing still. They're doing like a SWAT team snapping it around the outside,
Screen in the goal.
shooting it. But even once we're so flat-footed that once the puck is shot, we don't have like our feet aren't moving, so the puck comes right back to them, and it's a shooting gallery every time. Watch this in our zone. It's gonna be this little collapse. We collapse into the slot, and it's a shooting gallery every time, and our goalie can't make the save, so it's
Talking about our goalie,
a buffet.
Samsonov back
I
versus
couldn't believe
Detroit.
that.
Yeah.
I was talking about. I couldn't believe he was starting this year.
I
again.
feel like your reaction was about the same as every other Leafs fan.
we
I felt
waived
the
him.
same.
Like we shattered his confidence. We took his like. I'm sorry. These mental things that happen take more than a week to recover from. Like getting waived and all that stuff as a goaltender. It must be absolutely
I think it was super risky.
yeah.
Not for that
in a
game
must-win
itself.
game. It was a must-win game back to back. Like we needed. We set him up. We set him up for failure. Though.
It would be nice for them to have that win, but I'm saying that's not what was risky. What was risky is bringing him back on after the Leafs have just been playing such trash defense and giving away like they just blew a lead to
Against the
Colorado. You
best
think it's
team in the
good to
league.
put in your goalie that's like shattered confidence? Like I feel
against
like
the
no.
best team in the league, like against the best line in the world.
Yeah.
Like, as a goalie that like isn't even like squaring up properly on the.
Did Samsonov play against Colorado? I didn't think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? I
We-
thought he played against Detroit.
No, we blew the 3-0 lead, right?
Yeah, but no, I don't think it was Samsonov though.
and also against
think it-
Detroit. I don't know. I didn't watch
I
Colorado.
think it was
It
Detroit.
was the second game of the back-to-back.
Okay, there was Detroit. Because
Yeah.
I know who
Oh
scored.
yeah,
on
it was a must-win though. Like that was like they're in our standing. Like, that was like that was an inter.
Well, because
division
Detroit's
run.
right on their tail.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that they didn't play him against Colorado.
okay.
That would have been a mistake
Fact-
for that
The
game.
fact that didn't even get to overtime.
But I'm just
they
saying it
won
was a
in regular
mistake.
se- like,
It was a mistake because it's risky to put him back in, and if he loses against Detroit, then it's like then he's just back in square one.
Yeah.
Whereas like
oh, those goals were brutal. I'm sorry.
You gotta
All-
put him
all
against
those
a
goals
team
were
that-
savable.
I would have rather him play against Colorado because then at least there's the excuse. Well, yeah, they're one of the top teams. in
And
the league.
I don't want to beat up on him. He's probably going through a lot, but like at the same time, on that breakaway, like I've never seen a goalie end up on their back, sprawled out, like just play the butterfly there, and he went for this poke check. I don't even know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like a men's league goalie.
He-
It literally like the men's league goalies are like just square up and play the like every other goalie
Right.
in the history of the league is gonna play that. This isn't 1990
Goes for
anymore.
the huge poke
Goes
check.
for- and he's on his back, and the guy just puts it in an open net. It's like a little deke to the backhand, and it's out of his pants. What are you doing? Like, it just seems like his decision making. He's off the post. Like, I don't know. I'm not a goalie coach or anything like
No.
that, but
S-
I couldn't believe it. And like, and I hope he, I was hoping for all his success. I think all of us are cheering for him. Like,
yeah.
it's not fun to see someone struggling
Well,
like that. But
They were cheering for him.
holy,
The-
man.
after he
chanting his
made-
name, he did make a nice save.
He made that crazy save with 2
he
minutes
had a
left in the
decent
game.
but the goals that he let in were you can't let in.
Hmm.
Like under the blocker, far side, he was too far on the post.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say his first game back was acceptable.
Yep.
And then he battled to make like some great saves,
Yes.
which he just straight out wasn't doing before. Like when he was battling, he was letting in everything. At least now he made some good saves. Like that one where he reached back,
Oh,
with
yeah.
2 minutes left,
Oh, yeah.
gloves it. Then Liljegren gives away the puck behind the net, and they immediately score. He tried to get his
Nice
blocker
one.
out. It was blocked, but it wasn't interference because it was outside of the crease.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that sucks. Because it looked like he was going to make the save, and then his stick hits whoever the Carolina player was to the side of the net, and he couldn't get it over.
Yeah. Shocker, he's playing outside the crease.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when
Yeah.
you're making a blocker save, I feel like a lot of goalies reach outside the
Yeah,
crease, you know?
yeah.
Like if his feet are in the crease and he reaches out of it, I feel like it should still maybe, depending on the circumstance, be considered.
Yeah. Also, I would
I don't
say like Keefe with finally we saw a different look. Like I'm glad he jumbled the lines up. I actually like that Domi, Bertuzzi, Marner line.
Mm.
That was our best line.
It was the only line that was doing
Yeah,
anything.
I think you called that one early on.
Did I not
Yeah.
call Domi and Marner together?
Yeah.
Because they played, like, I called that early, dude. They were our best line.
Domi's actually playing great, and he's making some really nice passes. Like he's setting guys
Give
up.
him an
He's got some good
opportunity.
vision.
Sheldon's been
Yeah.
buried him on the third line, he literally doesn't play.
He's finding
If you
guys
look
out there
at,
when
if
he
you
plays.
look at the minutes that third line gets, like, all it is 1-2 coming out all game. They play like 25 minutes a game, and then you're expecting Domi to have any confidence. Like, he's a skill guy. He needs the puck on his stick.
Yep.
Give him Marner. I've been calling that since the literally start of the season.
Here's
I
an
was like,
idea:
Yeah, what?
trade Camp, just so that Keefe
Oh,
doesn't
please.
have to play him as much.
Please, please. Sorry.
You trade away his favorite
He-
defensive player
He
so that he
win a
can't
draw.
use
He
him
can't win a
anymore.
draw. He's the softest player in the league.
And he scores 1 goal every season.
Well, the only reason he got added to the lineup, Camp, was
To win draws.
no. Who was the other guy that they were best buds? They played on a team
Klingberg?
together. No, but then he got moved. It was Camp and
Well, Dubas brought him over because he was a face-off specialist and very good defensively. And he has been that, arguably, but this year he hasn't even been that good defensively.
Can't win draws.
Yeah, like he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but Keefe still loves to use him because he knows that he's not going to just throw the puck up the middle and make a dumb
Yeah,
mistake.
but-
it was Andre Kosh. What do you say?
Kasha?
Kasha. And David Camp. They played together their whole life.
Yeah, but that's not the reason they brought him. It just happened to be.
It's,
something
you know
else.
Dubas. You know that's like he's doing these big brain moves. They brought Kasha and Camp on a team together because they were like they played on the World Juniors. They grew up together. How do you not have chemistry, right? And then Kasha got traded. Well, Camp, like, he lost a little bit of that chemistry on the team.
I mean, the big brain.
Obviously,
I don't think they even played on the same line usually.
I just
The
feel
big
like-
brain
yeah.
move was just bringing Camp over when he only gets like 3 goals a season. And everyone's like, why the heck did you do that?
Yeah.
And then they see him winning faceoffs and playing
Yeah.
defense. That was Dubas doing Dubas things, looking into the numbers,
Yep.
right? But so far this season, to me, it's looked like he's like their biggest, like, because Keefe is still falling to him every time. Like, he's defaulting to put him out there when he doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, if I'm Brad True-Living, I look at that, I'm like, you can't be having Camp and Nyes and Robertson out in the last 2 minutes of a game or whatever it is, you
Oh,
know,
I
like
mean-
all right.
Yeah.
So they have a 3-game losing streak. What changes?
they lose the next game too.
And then is Keefe losing his job?
After Vancouver,
Hey,
if they
yep.
win, if they lose the next 2.
Then you think Keefe is gone?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, they just extended him. I feel like they don't want to be paying another coach to
He's
not
got 2
coach.
games, bro. He's got 2 games. Like, we don't, like, we're out of a playoff spot. Like, if he, and it's looking ugly. Like, if we've been evaporating. There's been no coaching. There's been 0 coaching. Like, there's been nothing changed. It's the team's not obviously playing for the guy.
I guess my only thing is that there's not really anyone better available
People
right
are
now.
saying,
Oh yeah,
Oilers coach. That they just got fired.
Oh,
Do you think? But maybe I don't know.
Anything. I just think we need a change.
Yeah.
I think we need to. I like the way he jumbled the lines up.
What is it, Bruce?
I couldn't
Cassidy?
stand seeing like just Tavares, like the same crap. Like put Tavares on the third line because he's not skating. Like
Woodcroft.
Oh, Jay Woodcroft.
yeah, let's bring Woodcroft in. Bring Woodcroft in.
He knows how to handle a team with a lot of talent.
No, but at least their power play,
I mean,
I think it's a different look. What's being coached right now? Like, there's no defensive zone structure, and there's really no offensive zone structure. We're winning games because we have 5 All-Stars on our team, and we've only won 14 regular season games all year.
You
Or
know who
14
I'd like to
regulation
see?
wins.
Barry Trotz come to the Leafs. eventually.
Trotzy.
Interesting.
Or
Yeah.
who is it Cassidy, the Bruins old coach that's
Yeah,
coaching
probably
Vegas?
Or
Everywhere he goes, they win.
Yeah.
Eventually, I don't see the Leafs winning a cup until Cassidy is their coach.
oh, look at the assistant coach. He could just take over. I mean, that's
Carberry
Boucher.
or Boucher, Guy Boucher.
True.
Yeah, that's why they
He
brought
could.
him in.
He
Him-
could just take over. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, maybe. But he's the one running the power play, and you're not happy with it.
Ah.
So
But at least he had. I saw in the game where went down, like Boucher was all fired up, and then there was just Sheldon Keefe was just kind of like sitting there,
Cool, calm, collected.
kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy might take my job.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Yeah.
Boucher was all fired up. He's like,
right,
and then
he
there was
actually
Keefe
seemed to
just keep
care.
saying
Yeah.
nothing, like just
Uh-huh.
like we just gave up 3 straight goals and
Uh-huh.
scored with 2 minutes left.
So speaking of the Leafs and all their All-Stars, how do you feel about the All-Star selection? Because I saw an interesting post from the Empty Netters, another podcast, and the guy is basically fired up. He says that he hates that there's a fan, or that one player from each team is represented. He said he remembers the good old days when you're sitting there hoping that someone from your team makes it, because and then you don't have to watch a trash player from a trash organization that doesn't
There's
deserve.
got to be a one player from every team.
You
I
think
don't think
so?
s- I don't think
No.
so.
Why? It's like you want to see the best in the league, and you want
telling
to
me-
watch them all
You're
play.
telling me there's not an all-star on every team?
There isn't. No, sorry.
Oh, come
no.
on.
There isn't. There's
Oh,
better.
there's 5 on Vancouver?
Yeah, there are.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah, there are.
Get out of here.
Dude,
Get out of here.
I think that it's a massive oversight on the league's part to think that people won't care about the All-Star game just because they don't have one of their players there from their team, because people already don't care about the All-Star game.
hold on.
If no one's there from their team,
But people then don't care about that team anyways.
probably exactly. So there's probably
right?
not that many fans that you're
So
upsetting.
exactly.
So and that's why they're doing like, oh, whoever votes in that we want, because they're actually the ones watching it.
So someone commented and they said that they remember, like, I don't know, like years back, maybe it was Buffalo. I'm just making this up, but they were a fan of say Buffalo, and then they didn't get a guy in their All-Star game, and they didn't get a guy in the All-Stars, and then like, oh, we've got a good prospect, and the prospect's doing really well, and they were so excited, and then they got selected, and it's, yes, someone from my team is there, right? It actually made it mean something, and also the All-Star was good because you had to earn your way in. You had to be an actual All-Star, not just the best from this organization that isn't doing very well. Like, I'd say each guy has there's obviously a best player on each team, but there's probably a better way to select the All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like actually,
I
have the
would like
best
to see
players there.
I would like to see the old school way that was done in my minor hockey, where every team votes in a player, but you're only given, like, each team is given a different amount by the league.
The players should.
So the league says you guys get this many this year, this many this year.
Oh, I see.
So they look and they see, okay, this team has a potential for 3. This
Ah.
team has a potential for 0, right? Like, and then the team votes it in. And then you can have, like, if there's someone who's like literally like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
The players on the team won't vote them in.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's tough because you got a guy like Noah Dobson, who's got about 45 points, just lit the Leafs up with 4 points. And
Right.
then Morgan Riley's getting an All-Star vote. Go compare Noah Dobson to Morgan Riley this year,
Right.
and which one's the All-Star? Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, that's the problem, is
Yeah.
that the All-Stars actually aren't there.
So that
The
so what's the
All-Stars are-
problem? Is it the fan vote?
Well, the fan vote is just like, yeah, you got five
There's
players
more
from
Leafs
Vancouver
fans.
and 5 players from Leafs,
Yeah.
and then 1 player from Arizona.
Yeah.
Just because, like, we if it was up to the fan vote, we'd probably have like 7 Leafs.
The only thing I see wrong with the fan vote is that it doesn't happen early enough.
Yes.
And like if the players see it as like, okay, I'm not named for sure, then like there's no way I'll get voted in.
So these
But like they need to be like, they're not allowed to like book anything until the vote's done, or they need to move the vote earlier so they don't book vacations and be like,
Yes.
this sucks.
we have Seth Jarvis, who is hilarious. Love the guy.
Too late. Sorry.
Seth,
Yeah.
that was
And they're talking about, oh, hey, what do you think about getting voted in the All-Star game? Right? It could happen. He's like, yeah, well, I already have a non-refundable trip booked to Mexico, so sorry, guys. No, I'm going to a warm spot. Like, too late for me. I appreciate the thought, but no thanks.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go.
He's just being nice. They're like, "What? How do you feel about being voted into the All-Star
Why
game?"
is it-
He's like, "Too late. Already got a hot vacay book, but thanks, guys. I appreciate it."
I love how
Right.
how he threw in non-refundable.
Yeah.
No, I can't even ask for money back. So please don't even no, I can't get a refund, guys. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? I'm like, I related to that. I'm
That-
like,
this vacay was $5,000.
Yeah.
I can't get
well,
that back.
maybe I think it's gonna be fun this year. The All-Star with the, like, I like how they're doing the draft. Like, that's fun.
Oh,
Like,
it's
like,
gonna be a
who's
time.
Who's gonna get picked last?
Chippy and I are going to be there, by the way.
Yeah.
They should. They
I'm
just,
actually gonna be on the celebrity coach with Matthews and Beebs.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
I actually had
Nice.
an idea about
So
that.
sweet.
manifesting it.
They should nominate someone like you guys as the last pick.
Oh.
So you
Oh.
get to be picked on the team, but it's like so that there's no NHL player that's the last pick. It's the influencer that's the last
Oh,
pick.
I just think,
and
yeah,
they get their pick between like you, Zach
Pick-
Bell,
pick- pick
Barber.
pick 4 hockey influencers to be on those 4 different divisions and picking. Like, I'm sorry, the team wants to see Chippy, Pappy, and Beebs pick a team. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
Make it happen, NHL, because it would be great for the socials.
Oh
It
yeah.
would be great for just like people would tune in. I'm telling you, people would tune in. And I was also saying the NHL needs to get, a creator, like how they compete for $1 million.
Yeah.
So like imagine if they had people that actually needed the money competing for $1 million. I think we said this last
Yeah,
week.
we did.
But like, I swear people would tune in just because it's like people that need that $1 million winning it versus the people that don't need it. It's like it's just a different level of intensity, right? So like
They could
imagine
just
how intense it would be if you brought a whole bunch of hockey players in.
Pure chaos.
And then the all-star guys like Matthews is the coach and he's like coaching and then he really wants his team because it's life-changing money. Like it's going to get so intense. The players don't have to get injured. You bring in a whole bunch of junior C guys that can actually play and it gets nasty. And you have a game where these guys are competing for $1 million.
Well, the game isn't for $1 million. The skills comp
yeah.
is. But that would be interesting too to see how a regular
$250,000.
see how a regular Joe plays against like
not even regular
stacks
Joe.
up.
You get guys like junior guys.
Okay, in terms of
Yeah.
NHL quality, regular Joe.
Yeah.
You know? Like
We got $1 million skills comp.
I dropped the bomb.
We got $1 million skills comp.
ooh, who farted?
I
That's a nasty one.
Beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Did you have bacon?
I
He
took
did,
a
yeah.
club.
Turkey bacon club.
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
I could sense the bacon.
Luckily, I'm a little congested right now. This is
Oh,
amazing.
boys.
I'm-
Horrible.
I just breathe through my mouth and I kind
Horrible. See, that's how you do it, right?
of.
There it is. There was the display. I got a couple of gigs.
I'm gonna get some air from over here for a second.
Like, what's it gonna let you guys
Alright.
just ignore that?
So $1 million prize on the table. Now, in previous years, the skills comp has just been the skills comp. Whatever. Guys don't really care. They're kind of having fun. They're joking around. Do we see a better display of skill because there's money on the table?
I think you're gonna see guys pretending like they don't care, but really, you want that $1 million. Like, I'm sorry, it's $1 million. It's not like it's like
Oh yeah.
$1 million. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna actually compete for that. I feel like there's gonna be some guys that are like, oh, like they don't want to like go too hard.
I think it'll be
But then there's gonna be like one guy that's like
Here's the
actually
thing.
trying to win it.
It doesn't
and, like,
matter because the first guy goes. Like that's how you feel going into it. But then when that first guy goes, you're like, oh, this is a competition. They're competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So putting something on the line.
every guy that goes will want to do better than the one before.
Yes.
And
Once.
I think
it-
that
so-
there's gonna be a lot more mistakes. I'm calling there's gonna be a lot of
Ah,
people like
yeah.
Yeah.
like tripping up. Like,
Right.
that's what I'm gonna
Because
say.
they're
is,
going harder.
Yeah, and then they're gonna then they're gonna trip up, and then they're gonna like lollygag it because they don't want to look.
Right.
I have a
Because, like,
question.
you know what I'm saying?
Are they going full buckets and everything?
I think so.
So that they have the confidence like
Yes.
Kind of. Yeah.
I feel like you have to now. There's no way the league's gonna let them like.
like
see
if
it.
they're going hard and they're not just like lollygagging
Oh,
around
they'll have full buckets.
dipsy
On.
doodle, you think they're
Sure.
going full buckets? Yeah.
Sure.
But then it's not as good for TV.
I feel like the league's gonna make them. Like, I feel like it's just like a safety thing.
Oh, maybe,
Mm.
yeah. Depends on the challenge, I guess. Like if they're just standing shooting, it's not really.
Well, the league won't even let them do warm-ups without the helmet.
Yeah, they won't let them do warm ups, but they let them do the entire skills comp for years,
Yeah,
going
like-
full speed skating around the freaking
That's
ring.
insane. There's no they all had helmets saying last year with
Yeah.
the fastest skater.
All right. Real quick. McDavid is obviously trailing. He usually just leads the league by like 15 points, and like no one can come even close to winning like the Art Ross.
Mm-hmm.
There was this post by the NHL. These are the players that came back after a deficit, right? And what's McDavid, like 15 points behind? Or he was at one point, maybe he's not anymore.
Something like that.
In 2002, Peter Forsberg was 32 points behind and came back to win the Art Ross. That is just insane. What an insane second half of a season to be down by 32. He must have been injured, right? And Mario Lemieux did it in 87. The most recent, Daniel Sedin, he was down by 20 points, came back to win the Art Ross. So, and there's a list here. Jamie Benn for Dallas in 2014-15 won it, 16 points behind. So, McDavid currently sitting at 57 points and Kucherov at 72.
Is this after the same amount of games?
It didn't specify,
Oh.
but I'm guessing about halfway through the season.
Right,
seems
so
like about right.
close.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as he's healthy, and I mean the Oilers have won 10 straight, so
That helps. Yeah.
that does help that they're on a heater.
Yep.
Puck's fine in the back of the net for them finally. I think it's easy. He's going to be in the top 3 within like a month.
But even
And I'm
look at the difference between like a Matthews 48 and 40 versus a 72.
Yeah.
and 40.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So he's chasing Kucherov and McKinnon. McKinnon's at 70. Kucherov's at 72. I would love to see McKinnon win it.
I do
because
too. He deserves it.
every
man.
year he looks like the best player in the world.
You put McKinnon up against any player in the league 1v1.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry, I'm taking McKinnon. Like even
I
if
think
it's
so.
McDavid,
Yeah, he would outwork McDavid.
he's
I
just
think.
like an animal.
Yeah,
like
he's
you don't want to get in
powerful.
his way.
He's
like,
powerful.
I think McDavid's an animal.
He's a
though, too.
workhorse.
I don't know.
I mean, McDavid is amazing skill wise, just like next level. His vision.
that would be a
and
great
everything.
one-on-one. I think there should be one-on-ones in the All-Star game.
that would be sick, man.
I would
Like
say.
battle drills.
I would say McDavid is just more vision.
Guys just losing their back C4 spot. Just cross checks. Like,
They're like, hey, if I battle this guy hard enough, I might not have to play him
yeah.
next week.
And that's what we were talking about at the dinner the other day. Like a Team Canada team versus a Team USA.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm sorry, you're gonna have Matthews on line 1 versus McKinnon.
Yeah.
And then on line 2, Jack Hughes.
McKinnon,
Jack
McCarr.
Hughes versus McDavid. I'm just saying, like centerman, like
Yeah.
just like lines matching up.
Mhm.
Right.
I am taking a McKinnon, McDavid
Yeah.
over a Matthews, Hughes,
Yeah.
or a Kachuk. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm on the same boat there. But yeah, I think he catches him for sure by the end of the season.
He just needs an
You
insane
think so?
42 games,
I
right?
think he does.
He needs
It's-
an insane 42 games, and he could put up.
I think McKinnon.
He does. You can't even call it insane. He needs a regular 42
True.
games for McDavid.
He can put up 90 and
Like
42.
he just needs basically, if you look at it, he needs to put up one more point than Kucherov every game they play for the next like 10 games, and he'll catch him. You know?
Yeah, like all he needs is a couple 5-point nights.
Yeah.
Which
Like he just needs Draisaitl to start burying all of his passes in the power play, and they're figuring.
like here we go. January 2nd, he had a 5-point night, right? And then he had a single point. He's been slow. He's only getting a point a game.
But you average that out, he's getting 2 points per game.
Like, and it's
Like-
insane. Like I can't even put up like that 5-point games in men's league.
No,
It's
so
rubs.
going back to 2020, he had 105 points in 56 games. So like he could put 90 up in 42.
Yeah.
Right?
Easily.
So what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to be
105 points in 56 games.
Yeah. Right?
That's absurd.
It's just insanity. So and also the Oilers were struggling. Now 10-game streak. I think they're making the playoffs. We said that they wouldn't. They proved us wrong.
Mhm.
153 points last year is absurd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys think that he's going to win the Art Ross? I would say no. I'd say he's going to come close, but I think maybe McKinnon will edge him out.
It depends though, because if the Oilers stay hot and they're going to have more motivation to solidify a playoff spot.
Yep.
So they're going to have more motive to like win, and the only way I've seen Oilers win games is by outscoring them.
Right.
So I think that they're going to have more motivation to keep scoring goals and get more points, and Oilers as a whole are just going to be a higher scoring games.
Yeah.
So I could see and McDavid's in on like every goal. What are you trying to pull up?
Nothing.
He just wants to be
57. What's his deficit? Is it 15 points?
It's 15 from Kucherov.
Still okay. So he's still
But like you're saying, Kucherov's gonna get 5-point nights too. So it's like,
yeah.
and then McKinnon's gonna get 5 points nights.
No,
as
but the
well.
difference is like Tampa Bay and Colorado, they're like, I mean, I guess Tampa's not a lock for the playoffs yet, but like they're pretty much, they're already thinking playoff mode, whereas
Are they?
the
Like,
Oilers
they're
are like, we
competing
need
with
to
us.
keep winning in
They-
order to not
yeah.
be pushed out of a playoff
They need to
spot.
pile it on.
Yeah.
I
I think, I don't know, to me, McDavid, when he's chasing a playoff thing, that's when he's going to score the most points.
Yep.
And I just see him like going crazy.
Are you gonna force it? Is it gonna be a little too forced?
Here's the thing,
So like there's a difference. Like when you're on a 72 goal pace, like Matthews, like if he needed the goals, he ain't gonna score the 30 and 30.
Yeah.
I feel like also like when you're trying so hard, like it's.
If-
Kucherov's cruise controlling,
I don't know.
McKinnon's
The harder,
like, they're
the
just
harder
going in for
McDavid
McKinnon.
tries, the more he scores. That's the way
if,
I've seen.
If it was like, say,
No, look at the beginning of the season. That's his worst. That's the worst he's ever performed when they were losing those games and he wasn't scoring.
if JT Miller and Panarin were 1 and 2, I would say McDavid's going to catch him because they're not used to having that spot and wanting that spot. You know, like it's a bit of an anomaly that those guys, like Panarin's doing really well. He's a great player. JT Miller, like it's crazy. He's got 60 points, right? But they're not those guys. Like Kucherov wants that spot. McKinnon wants that spot. It's going to be hard to catch those guys. So I would say, I don't know. It's going to be tough. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to come back.
Is Matthews gonna win the scoring
Yeah.
title?
Yeah. That's just a lock.
I mean, 32 for Reinhardt. Like that's insane. Like
I
Reinhardt.
think Matthews has like
Wow.
1 point. Yeah, last game he had 4 on Kucherov, I think. Oh yeah, Sam Reinhart, 32.
Wow.
Dang, that's what I'm saying.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, Florida's been playing pretty well though.
There's no way can Reinhardt
been
keep
scoring
that pace up.
lots.
Like I don't know. Matthews we know Matthews
just came from
hasn't
nowhere.
really been like scoring like that.
This is actually crazy. So on Betway, I was doing sponsored content with them, and I was trying to pick who's going to win the Maurice Rocket Richard,
Yeah.
right? Most goals in a season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, give me a long shot. And I saw Sam Reinhart. This was like after 20 games, was like third. I was like, nobody would bet on Sam Reinhart. So I was looking to try to find his name. His name was not even on the list of 50 players to pick.
Oh my
Right?
god!
And some of these guys had like 100-to-1 odds.
And now
I was
he's
like,
1 point out from Matthews.
yeah, 1 goal away. Because I was like I'd bet $1, that Reinhart would win it for if he's at 100-to-1 odds. Like, give me this long shot odds. And he wasn't even named on the list. He wasn't even added there. So dang, too bad I didn't throw a buck on that one.
That's insane. Yeah.
Oh, but I still think it doesn't matter. Matthews winning it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Matthews gonna win. I mean, he's
yeah.
won one already.
I feel like if there's a name that you weren't expecting on there, they'll average out to be a little bit below what the ones that you are expecting are to be. Like Matthews, you expect him to be at the top, and if
He has the pressure.
he hasn't even been like I've seen
I
him
mean, he's
playing
not
better.
Even, yeah, he's not even playing. Like that's
You
what I
know?
mean. He's like,
Yeah.
Whereas like Reinhardt's probably scoring like
At
every shot he
top
gets.
level, it'll even out.
Yeah.
Yeah, things will even out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of top teams, Canadian teams, Jets and Vancouver,
Yep.
have just been having killer seasons,
Yeah,
and
unreal.
it was just
Nowhere.
announced that Kyle Connor will be back in the lineup against the
Oh.
Islanders, and he is not gonna
He
make them
contributes.
worse. He's
He
gonna
con-
make them even more.
He
Powerful.
contributes.
Yeah. But is Scheifele still out? I think. But anyway, Jets doesn't matter. They got Hellebuck. They've been playing lights out. And to think about just
They've
last
been-
year, we
yeah.
thought that they were gonna be like
blowing up the team.
blowing up the team. Wheeler's gone,
Yeah.
but maybe that was the mojo they needed. Wheeler was like a assist, and they needed to cut him off
Oh,
to,
God.
to
then
let
they-
the rest of the team flourish.
Man, hockey's such a crazy sport. Like, you can have your team not gelling, not figuring, and then the next year, just everything comes together. And like, a game of bounces, like you figure your line, like
Self belief after you win a couple at the beginning of the season. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just one of those games.
the right group. Like, you add one guy and he just brings everyone together, type of thing. It's so much that happens that can alter it. Where it's not just the top play. You can't just have a skilled player add him to the squad. Now you're doing better, like in basketball. Right? There's so much more to hockey. It's a team sport.
You can't buy a championship. In hockey.
No, you cannot. It's a team sport.
It takes like years to build it up and gel the team together.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
dude. Like it's
Um,
a different league.
And it was crazy. Like, I remember in the Olympics when Russia would just not do well year after year. And they always had like such skilled guys, like really skilled players that can score. Always the goal scorers on Russia.
Yeah.
But then the Olympics, they just fall apart because they don't have like they didn't play as a team. And then Canada, obviously very talented players, but they would win games 1-0. And I'd be like, guys, like what? But they would just play
Mhm.
as a team,
Yeah.
not play for like the individual, and they would win the Olympics, just win gold.
Yeah, the
right?
best on best is gonna be crazy next year. That's insane.
It's gonna be
Like
unreal.
McDavid
Yeah.
versus it's gonna be unreal.
Everyone's been missing that for so long.
Is it in Italy or something?
And I'm hoping Reinhardt.
I don't
is-
know.
is-
I don't know
is-
if they've.
is
Well,
the
it's supposed to
sniper
be,
we're
but
talking about.
they're complaining about there being no arena, but there is an arena there. So I
Oh,
don't know what
I'm
to
just saying, should I book like
do.
my accommodation right now? So like,
Literally,
Yeah.
because like if Reinhardt becomes a top scorer in the league, that's a big piece for Canada. if
yeah,
he's-
that actually is true. Yeah,
like if he's a sniper like this, like
and like he's a
if, he
dog
gets, if
too.
he's hot at the right time going into the Olympics, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
because we got some of our guys, like we missed out on the Marchand, Crosby,
Yeah, I know.
like 2010, but like
They might still
20
crack the lineup, but it's like, should they? You know,
they're gonna
They're gonna-
crack it, but
and
like,
like Stamkos got canned for one the last time in
It's-
2016, was it or
His rookie season, he didn't get
or
selected.
What 2010?
His rookie season, he gets selected because he was still like 18 or 19, even though he was tearing the league. He was leading the league in goals.
Mhm.
I was like, I wanted a Stamkos jersey,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Team
Stammer.
Canada Stammer jersey. The next year, he was a shoo-in, guaranteed going to make the team. He slid into the post, broke his femur
Oh, I remember that.
yeah.
out. The next Olympics, 4 years later, we're not putting pro guys in. The next Olympics, 4 years later, pandemic, and we're not going to send pros
They were
again.
gonna send pros anyway. Yeah.
It was a CBA, like the collective bargaining agreement. They weren't supposed to go in the COVID anyway.
Yeah.
Back to I wanted to touch on Vancouver quick because Elias Patterson's needs a contract extension, and I wanted to see if you guys could put in a guess. What do you wager he's going to make?
For Patterson?
Yeah, what do you think he's going to sign for?
12.
You know, that's kind of right around where I had him. I actually think he's going to ask for just slightly more than McKinnon.
12.5.
Yeah, because he wants to be like, because McKinnon, when he
He's
signed
like
it, the
Gretzky,
percentage
dude.
is going to be different, right, of the cap. So he's going to want like 12.25, 12.5.
Oh, okay.
12.5, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'd say 12.
yeah.
Maybe take a little off for the
12
team.
times 8, maybe.
Like I could see him starting with a little bit below Matthews' number as what they're asking for.
Yeah.
And when with Vancouver playing as good as they are, and with him producing, being an animal out there, like
Yeah.
just scoring all the time.
Can we look up his stats real quick?
Yeah. While
Is he
you guys
top-
keep
is he
talking
top in
about,
the league? Is he?
He's right there. I see him. Scroll down. He's ninth.
yeah.
I thought you're top 10 in the league.
See, he's above McKinnon in goals.
He's got 58. He's got 58 points in 40 games. Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Like if Willie made 11.5, he's getting 12.5.
He's got 58 points. He's got one more point than McDavid, and he's a center, and he's crucial to their success as a franchise.
Go to his stats like like he's nasty, dude. I swear he's lights it up
Yeah.
like career stats. Yeah, like let's just see what he's done.
He's always been
102
great.
points last year.
He's
yeah,
very
100 point
crafty.
guy.
He's a very crafty
Anyone
player.
that's cracked 100 points.
Yeah.
Is getting paid like
Yeah.
max.
Everyone's getting the 12
I
mil.
feel like that's what the Leafs. I mean, this is completely off track again, but I feel like that's what the Leafs should latch onto if they are going to try and keep Marner.
Yep.
Be like, you haven't got over 100 points yet, man.
Yeah.
well,
Throw that in his
yeah.
face. Throw that in his face.
Yeah, like you got 99, but like you're
Not a 100-point guy.
yeah,
Cracked 102, 100, like 100 points is the standard for a max deal.
yeah. Did you guys have any other news you wanted to catch up on, or can we move on to my hypothetical?
Let's go hypotheticals.
All right. This one I thought of for a bit, and I think it'll be fun. Talking about Marner and the Leafs probably going to extend him. I hope they don't, to be honest. Or if they do extend him, it should be like a sign and they have like a
Sign
trade
and
lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a mixture of Minute Madness and hypothetical, but you don't have to like play the role. I just want you to put yourself in the shoes of.
I'm
okay?
there. You know I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get
So
there deep.
hypothetically, Chippy, you're the GM of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay.
Jeremy, you're Brad Treliving. You're the GM of the Leafs.
Mhm.
Jeremy, you call up Chippy. You say,
Oh gosh.
we're looking at our options to sign and trade Marner. He wants somewhere around 12 mil. We're trying to get him down. We're going to get as best a contract as we can. Would you guys consider a deal involving Sebastian Aho?
Mm.
Ooh, I was gonna say Svechnikov.
No, I think Sebastian Aho is and like the Leafs might have to throw in some sweeteners there, like throwing a Matthew Nyes with it.
No.
No, I mean that's pretty
dude.
straight up.
That's straight up.
That's a straight up
That's straight
swap,
up.
and just throw in some like.
No chance, Nice. Nice is like unmovable.
No,
Nice
yeah,
untouchable.
like-
But you look at Sebastian Aho and look at his contract, right? Sebastian
How long-
Aho's
how much
contract.
longer?
He's making
It's over. It's over. It's over.
No, he signed an extension where
It's down there.
It's over.
It's
5 years. He's got a
2019. The
5-year.
contract.
this is his old contract.
He signed a 5-year deal in 2019, so it's over in 2024.
So he's gonna be getting 13.
Mm-hmm.
He just signed an extension. Where the heck is it? There it is.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't scroll far enough.
9.75.
8-year in 2023. He signed.
Okay.
So he's got a value contract, and he's put up more points than Marner this year.
Mm.
We look at Marner's
Is he a
stats.
centerman?
Marner's got 46 points. Sebastian Aho's 48, and he's a centerman, and he's a defensive unit, and he's +8.
He's 26. That's good.
Yep.
Go down. There's his
Same age.
stats like
Career
season
stats?
career. Yeah.
He's got last year he got 67 points.
He's like a point a game type of guy. You look
Yeah,
at
the year before he got
70.
81.
yeah, pretty close to point a game type of guy.
But Carolina doesn't score as much as the Leafs. Like they win games by 1 goal.
Yeah.
A lot, right? So there's that to consider.
I feel he's also more of a goal guy than Marner.
Yeah, well,
38
he
goals.
scores more goals. Yeah,
Marner's kinda lighting it up this year,
Marner's
though.
got 18 goals, 186 career. Sebastian Aho has 15
233.
goals, 233.
Yeah. I remember watching him in the World Juniors, and he was a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He was crazy in the World
Like
Juniors.
I could see, like, just picture this, okay?
I'm picturing.
You're the Leafs. 1-2 punch, Matthews, Aho down the center. You move Tavares to the wing. Imagine Aho, Nylander,
Tavares
and
just needs to
Tavares
go.
on a line.
Tavares needs to go.
Or throw Yarncroke up there.
Can we throw Tavares in this deal?
Dump Tavares on them too.
Yeah.
No, they don't have
seriously.
enough cap space for that. Not until Tavares' contract is up. So they wouldn't be able to do that for this.
I mean, the Leafs would take it. Like a centerman versus a winger is complete.
I just think, and for the pure value of the contract, they'd have to throw in a sweetener just to be able to
Okay.
do that trade.
For the value, I'd say, there it would be Aho Marner,
There's
and
a
then there'd just
second
be like
rounder.
some guys, like a few prospects in there that you haven't really heard of, and maybe a pick or two, like swapped. Like, okay, we'll give you a second, and you
Chippy,
give us
you're
a
the
third.
GM of Carolina. What would you say to that though? Like, think about how important Aho is to you, and the fact that Marner wants to sign for 12 mil.
I think they'd be more of like wanting to move like a Svechnikov. But like Leafs don't need a Svechnikov.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not doing the deal.
like if you're the Canes, you wouldn't do it.
No, we need a centerman. Like, who would it be our centerman then?
Yeah, that's
And if I'm Tree Living, I'll say, you know what? We're just locking down Marner. We're putting all our money into 5 players, and we was not have defense or goalies.
Same players all decade.
Same players all decade. No defense, no goaltending. And one of these, we're just gonna keep spinning the wheel every year.
we can call it Team Run It Back.
What, like, how much money are the Leafs making off like Matthews, Marner, Nylander, for, like just like marketing, like
Yeah.
ticket sales? Like they must just
pressure.
be making
Right.
so much money. Like,
Yeah. Why sell
money
one?
makers.
Why sell one jersey when you can sell 5 jerseys?
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, that's what's going on.
That's exactly it.
They don't really care about the win. They just like you boys just put up 100 points every year.
Do they get to shave like some of the money they make from sponsors and stuff too? Eh? Like
for sure.
take a little hit. Yeah. Well, you represent the Leafs. You got to pay the Leafs fee.
Oh, there's a Leafs fee for
Oh,
sure.
you want to wear the Leafs jersey in that ad? Nah, you gotta get paid too.
Yeah.
MLSE's got to get paid.
For sure, dude. I feel like I don't know what a deal with Marner would be, but we definitely need like a shutdown forward.
Mm.
Like I'm thinking maybe someone from Vegas because Vegas likes to do deals.
Yeah,
Right.
like
I could see them doing.
Oh my
something
gosh!
like
Imagine
that.
Marner goes to Vegas.
Marchessault?
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
But like, see, that's the thing. Marchessault's probably. I think Marchessault's deal is up in a year, no? And I could see them moving him, but then you're just in the same boat where you need to sign a winger to more money than what you want to pay him.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was a interesting idea. Like if there were to be a trade to happen, I think the Leafs would want to go for a second line center because
Well, Leafs got
Tavares is going to
the
be
Leafs
gone.
got Nylander playing the PK. What are we doing?
They're trying out new
What
things.
is going on?
He's actually been not bad.
Oh, but
They're
he's
trying
not a
things out.
defensive player at all, bro.
Maybe they're trying to turn him into something, eh? Maybe they're trying to turn him into one.
They're like, we're paying him 11 mil. Keefe's like, you have to play defense now.
Playing in
Yeah, yeah.
every position
Yeah.
we're putting you in.
Exactly.
Yeah, they kept Nylander up on the top line. Like you just got paid. That's what they were saying. Like Keefe kept him up.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's
All right.
interesting.
I got one more fun thing to do before we move on to the draft. Okay.
Okay, holy draft could get intense this time as
Yeah.
well.
Way too early.
Don't make me cry again, guys.
Way too
I
early.
felt bad. I was being mean.
You were?
Oh, you're talking about last episode. Yeah, I remember.
We
that.
were. Yeah.
Everyone remembers.
You remember 1 week ago?
Jeremy.
Crazy.
Jeremy's still crying about that yesterday. Way too early. Stanley Cup final predictions.
I
Who's
got-
going to be in the Cup final?
My mom talked to you guys, and she said you two need to apologize to him. You guys have to
I
say
did
sorry.
apologize on the podcast. You can actually go back and listen to it.
She called Chippy.
Oh,
This is
sorry,
Jeremy's
Jer.
mom.
I apologize.
Oh
I
my
literally
God!
said
Can we
that.
move on?
This is Jeremy's mom.
Can we move on?
Jer, just
What's
come
your
back over
What's
here.
your Stanley Cup final predictions? Who's going to be in the Stanley Cup final this year? Way too early predictions. Let's look at the odds here.
I don't think it is too early. I'm going to say Florida, Vancouver.
Panthers and Vancouver. Okay, so you got the
Panthers.
current
Canucks.
5th place team against the 2nd place team.
Mhm.
You obviously have to have an East and a West team, so you've done that. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I
was-
picked for both sides.
I thought you were gonna do something dumb like Jets Canucks. I'm like, dude, that can't be. I was waiting for it.
I picked from the East and the West.
It could be,
Yeah.
It could be a sleeper team this year.
I have my picks, but I'm waiting until you guys make yours.
Oh well, that's
I mean,
Ridiculous.
it's hard not to pick Vegas. Hard not to pick Vegas. But you got the Jets and Canucks, which, like, I want a Canadian.
The Kings look like they could come together. I know they are at a losing streak there, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to pick the Oilers, bro. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm gonna go Oilers, and
Who's gonna be in the East?
Oilers Leafs. Oilers Leafs.
Oilers Leafs.
Oh
Oh.
Oilers Leafs, but like or Oilers Boston. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Bruins just I feel like they got bounced first round. They're not liking that.
But are they getting better? Like, I say this every year, though.
I mean,
Like,
I feel like it doesn't matter. It's more of like the playoffs. Like it's like the Florida. It doesn't really matter if you're getting
Yeah.
better. It's just like who's a playoff team and who's not.
I think with
Like Bruins know how to win. It just they know how to score on the power play. They know like if they like. It's just Pasternak is like he might be the most underrated player.
I feel Panthers
He's a
had like
game
a
breaker.
Panthers had a taste of the playoffs, and like they thrive.
I just
They
don't.
turned into a new team.
I'm not sold on the Panthers.
Nah.
I'm not sold. I know they're a beast of a team, but
They just turned into a new team in the playoffs, and I think now like they had that feeling and they want more of it.
I just feel like they
Yeah.
got really lucky. They won a lot of overtime wins. Like what happens when they don't win those in overtime?
They won't make it to overtime now. They'll win them in regulation.
I'm not sold on the Panthers. I know they're a great team.
Yep.
I thought they like it's time for them to underachieve. They overachieved last year.
I do feel they overachieved for sure. Yeah.
I feel like they play playoff hockey. That's what they have going for.
Well, that's I think maybe
They play playoff hockey all year round, and for whatever reason, they'll get like 3 penalties a game, and then the refs will just stop.
Okay,
They stop calling it.
it's hard also for me not to pick the Avalanche on that one.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough one.
Colorado,
It's
how
like-
do you
It's
not?
Oilers or Avalanche, Bruins. I mean, the Rangers now are like.
That's who you and I picked. We both said Colorado Leafs Cup Finals last year. I think they got bounced.
Like, is it just the year for the Leafs to overachieve? Like, is this the year?
Please,
Is this
just
the-
just achieve. I just want them to achieve.
I feel like this is like if we make the playoffs, we could do a Florida type run where we just squeeze in.
Yeah, the Leafs need to achieve and not underachieve for once.
I feel like it's like overachieving time for the Leafs.
We need Bertuzzi and Domi and Nyes to just turn into absolute
I
animals.
don't
gonna-
think it's possible for the Leafs to overachieve because everyone expects them to win the cup, or they'll just be pissed. You know,
yeah.
like it's,
yeah.
No,
There's
everyone
no-
expects them to be bounced out. in the
There's
first
no
round.
overachieving for the
No,
Leafs.
no one believes in the Leafs. No one
Yeah.
expects them to be in the playoffs.
Um,
If they win the cup, everyone's just like, finally.
Can I make my prediction?
Sure, why not?
I was just waiting for you guys to finish your thoughts.
Yes.
Politely sitting here.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be Golden Knights and Rangers.
I know. I saw
You're
the
going
Rangers
goaltending.
there.
Golden Knights are gonna be battling for
The Rangers. I'm not
another
sold on
cup.
the Rangers.
and the Rangers. I wanted to go Canes, but their goaltending has just been so shaky, and I could see the Rangers just outscoring their problems and Shesterkin just shutting every team down in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He goes on a heater and he carries them to a final against the Golden Knights and then gets stomped by the Golden Knights. And
Right.
Like I could see it. I can visualize. I'm not sold. I'm not really sold on anyone from the East.
I think it's a pretty even battle for the East, but I think I do see the Rangers, especially if they get a favorable first round matchup, they could ride that till the finals.
I think it's gonna be hard to beat that Avalanche team.
I think the Golden Knights just
They wouldn't play them till the Rangers is in the East.
No, I'm saying the Golden. I just feel like. The
Oh,
Golden
you don't
Knights-
think that the Golden Knights would get
I
past?
think it's gonna be tough to beat Avalanche.
Yeah, they have vengeance.
They have vengeance. I saw McKinnon that Rantanen line. Oh my god.
I just see.
dude.
I watched
That's
the
playoff
Golden
hockey.
Knights game like last week from the beginning with like their whole crazy intro.
Oh,
and
I
everything.
went to a Vegas game. I love it.
I just look at that and I see a team and an environment that is just unstoppable. Like they go out every game expecting to win and knowing they're gonna win.
yeah.
And
And
they're
that's
in
just
Vegas,
something that I envy because the Leafs have never
Uh.
had that. You go to a Leafs game, they come out, it looks like they just got out of bed. There's no energy. They're doing a couple like little slow crossovers, stick in on the puck.
The
You
fan
see
base
Vegas
is
come out, they're ready to
yeah,
go to
no,
war.
No, it's the fan base. It really
Yeah.
is in the playoffs.
In the arena, like
it's the environment.
yeah.
It's like the Leafs create that environment. I've been saying, like I said this last year.
Put the Leafs in the Vegas
the
arena.
Leafs lose is
Yeah.
because of the fans.
Yeah.
And all the, my dad now and I have to like he's always so negative. He's like, well, I've been watching this team for my whole life, and it's the negativity we give the Leafs with like the fan base. It's like we have to now like my dad would go shh. Like if he starts saying something negative, we go shh. We're
Yeah.
catching ourselves now
Right.
because how negative the Leafs fan base is, and you cannot say that doesn't have effect on the external world. Like
Yeah.
your energy and what you're giving the world.
Like I see Vegas as like they're a team that
believe
they
can
go
win
out there
every time,
and
fan base does too.
every fan that's
Same
there
with Boston.
is just expecting to have a good time and their team to be in the fight every night.
Yeah.
And they are dominating. Like it's
like
crazy.
like they're part of the crowd. The crowd has effect on the game, like
Yeah.
no question about it. So when we have a whole bunch of corporate guys that don't even watch hockey, talking about what deal
it's
they're going to
tough.
close next, and no one's chanting.
Yeah.
Whereas when I went to the Vegas game, it was the most fun time I've
You
ever
need
had.
those chants.
Everyone was fired
It's the
up. We were all
best.
chanting. We're
It's
standing
great.
up. Oh, they scored again
Yeah.
and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like all that. This is a Stanley Cup winning team.
We got to do a road trip during the playoffs and like catch a few playoff games for each of these like
Yeah.
good cities, eh?
Yeah, it's
That would be
100%.
pretty good. Yeah.
That'd be fun. A little road trip.
A little first round road
Gotta
trip.
get some
First
spon-
round
some
tickets to
sponsors.
Vancouver.
You get game 1 of one series, game 2 of another series, game 3 of a different
Yeah.
series. You just plan on flying place to place.
Yeah, multi-city
not?
stop, eh? Just book the flight. We'll go Vegas.
If we're lucky,
Vancouver.
there's a lot of clustered Eastern teams too.
Yeah.
You could go East and West.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick. LA.
But just do the multi-city. Yeah, go like Vancouver, or like Vegas, Vancouver. Next day, like each day, we're in a different city, watch a different game. That'd be pretty
Oh,
wild. Like
That would be elite.
that'd make
Got
that
the best
happen.
Playoff
Yeah.
environment.
I'm gonna hit up Neil, or my contact from the NHL.
Nailer.
Naylor.
All right, are we ready for the draft before we wrap it up?
Let's do
We're
it.
gonna do most Canadian. It's real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, you have one? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll throw it out. It's an easy one.
All right.
All right, give me, and we could go past or present here. You guys can dig into your nostalgia, or you can pick something recent. Give me the most Canadian brand.
Brand, like as a whole.
Brand. Think.
Roots.
You're going roots.
Yeah.
Roots,
It-
boots, baby.
Have to go roots.
Roots. Yeah. So anyone not familiar, Canadian clothing manufacturer, and they really.
Like you could say the other one that has Canada in it, but like people don't like that brand anymore.
Hmm.
And you know which one I'm referring to.
So
Roots.
Root-
Roots
like,
has.
Ro-
to.
I mean, their logo is a beaver.
Roots is
That's
Cana-
very Canadian.
Yeah. It's
They're
roots.
they're
It's roots,
yes.
bro.
They make high quality. It's expensive. It ain't cheap, but their clothing and they 100% present Canada. I don't even think they have stores in the States.
No, it's Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm torn between two.
Yep.
I would almost call it an even tie for me.
Okay.
But I don't want to pick two because you go.
Okay.
And then I'll
Like
pick
our
mine.
restaurants included.
You could do anything. You could do a
Canadian brand.
retailer. Yeah, any
Oh, it has to be
Canadian brand.
brand though.
or-
owned by Canada.
And I know that's the thing, right?
Is
So
Roots owned by Canada. It must be.
no, it is. It is. Yeah, they trade public trade. You could own part of Roots if you want some
It
shares.
can be a Canadian brand even if it's changed
Okay.
ownership.
yes, but then there's some arguments there, asterisks and all that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Canadian Tire.
Yeah, so that was my tiebreaker, and mine was Tim Hortons.
There you go.
Yeah,
okay.
They're not owned
That's-
by.
ah,
For me, it's a tie, but I look at Tim Hortons and the way it's founded with
American.
it's like a hockey player that founded it, Tim Horton.
Yeah.
And it starts out, and everyone thinks, okay, what do you think about Canada? And they're like, oh, you got to get a double. You got to
Yeah,
like,
But
yeah.
the roots,
It's
but the roots aren't Canadian anymore. So
I
it's
know,
tough to
it's-
say there because they fall like have they fallen off? I don't want to say it, but
I still love Tim Hortons. It's good.
You know what?
it's not the same.
I
as
did
it
love
was in
it.
2008.
I loved it so much as a kid. Just like it felt so Canadian to me. They had the Timbits,
The broccoli
the
soup, like,
donuts,
it's just different.
and
It ain't the same.
and then they
It
started
ain't the
changing
same.
things. It was, you know,
I don't like that they've added
It's owned by
regular
Burger
food
King,
to the
right?
menu. No one in Canada actually likes it.
right. So we'll get there. I said we're gonna do this quickly, but now that we're talking Tim Hortons, for me, when they I started falling out of love, you know, and
Was
don't
when
get me
it
wrong.
sold
You
to
started daydreaming
Burger King?
about
Burger King
Starbucks.
owns it, right?
No, it wasn't then. It was before that. Don't get me wrong. I still love Tim Hortons. Still a fan. Just a little less in love.
Mm.
But it was when they stopped making their donuts in the actual locations. They shipped them out. They said we're gonna freeze them. We're gonna make them in some massive factory, freeze them, and we'll ship them to the restaurant, and they can just warm them up there. I'm like, guys, you're a donut shop.
Yeah.
And now they're not anymore. They're a restaurant. Tim Hortons restaurants. Like you
Yeah,
make donuts.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me good donuts, please.
Yeah, a 6-pack of donuts when I was 12, way
Oh.
different than a
It's been-
6-pack of
it's
donuts
honestly
now.
been a demise.
And they all
It's
started
honestly-
shrinking.
That should be a
And-
case study at schools. How
Dude.
the demise of
The cookies got
of the
smaller.
most legendary brand ever in Canada.
Yeah, they tried to
Like
squeeze
it's a great pick
pennies.
because it is like the most legendary. Like
Yeah.
it's just what they've done to it has made it
it's tainted a little
And
bit.
then they tried to,
it's
then
not
It's
irrecoverable.
American now,
yeah,
but
no.
It's not unless they. I mean, it's owned by an American company.
And then here is the thing, an American brand bottom that actually is owned by a Brazilian, even bigger company.
They don't understand the roots
And-
it had here.
and-
Roots. They know the roots it had. Here.
Good one.
And everyone knew, right? And then they started doing ad campaigns that were just overly Canadian, like.
They
oh,
pushed
we're,
it too hard.
We're
Yeah.
sorry, eh? Oh, we're doing the most Canadian. It's maple this and
It
maple
was
that.
the
We're like,
Sidney
guys,
Crosby. Yeah, it's like they need to
guys.
go back to the roots.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's go to the draft now. But yeah.
All right. So I'm taking. We got Canadian Tire. We got Tim Hortons.
Oh, you haven't picked one?
No, I took Canadian Tire.
Oh yeah, you picked
Because it's like it's a Canadian store. It's not even. It doesn't operate outside the United States. Literally says Canada.
like it's a
When you
diverse-
go to Canadian Tire, it's almost like magic.
It is. It's
Because
unique.
you
It's
walk
not
and
the
you
scent.
teleport between different stores.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
you're walking one
yeah,
section,
yeah.
it's like, oh, look at this coffee store, and then you're walking, it's like, oh, I could get my dog food here,
Yeah.
and then oh, I need something for my car. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
feel
like,
like
tools.
every
I
pick
can get my
has
windshield
its,
wipers.
Has its different, like they're different. Like it's
yeah,
not
like
Right.
yours
same
is very
brand.
wearable and very.
Mine's like it's kind of like Hudson Bay.
It's
Co.
it's
like
down to the
Hudson's
roots of
Bay,
people's identity.
Like the fur trading. It kind of seems like the fur trading.
True. Yep.
It's like the clothing.
For me, yeah, Canadian Tire. It's just everything. It's not Walmart. You know, it's not just a Canadian Walmart. It is its own
Mm.
beast.
Canadian Tire.
It's Canadian Tire. Like we all have memories of browsing the aisles there.
100%.
And if I would throw a throwback, I'd say Zellers.
Sellers.
See, I don't
That
think of that as
Canadian? I don't
Canadian.
think of
I
that
almost
Canadian.
think of
I
that
was
as like an
American.
American store that just happened to be in Canada for a while.
No, dude, it was here first. Zellers.
No, I know. I'm
I
just
know,
saying
but, like,
when
so-
I
just the
think of
sound
it
of it.
in my
Ah.
mind, I'm like, that sounds
Target.
American.
Zellers. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
But like Sears. Like I would go like Sears.
There. Okay.
Would be like super Canadian.
Is President's Choice a Canadian brand?
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah,
Canadian.
it's very.
It's like an in-house. Like, anyways, let's move on.
Sorry, yeah, we're getting sidetracked here. We're gonna do a draft. We are drafting the worst ways to lose a hockey game.
Oh, let me host because my feelings are still hurt from last time.
Okay, that's probably a good call. Yeah,
It's a good call.
he needs to recover.
I just don't want to
Rock, paper,
cry.
scissors, Let's go.
I don't feel like crying again, guys.
Oh, I won one.
I let you in.
Oh.
Don't act like you won that. I literally read your mind. I
We
was
got-
like,
Okay,
I wanna
yeah,
be
yeah.
Nice guy.
Hayden drafting, and you know what? He's coming strong. I feel.
I haven't thought about any of this.
No.
Hayden's definitely thought about it. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
I just thought of it before the pod. I have not
What is
thought
it?
of it at all.
Worst ways to lose?
Worst ways to lose a hockey game.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. You go first.
All right, this one is the meltdown. You
Oh.
have a 3-goal lead or like a minimum 2-goal lead, and you lose the game with like
You just lose. You
seconds.
blow the lead.
You
You
blow
can't
the
say no. That's a different. That's
you
a
blow the
different-
lead.
Different. There's only certain ways to
okay.
lose a game.
Okay, you blow the lead.
Blow a
The
3-0 lead.
meltdown,
Okay.
and it's called the Leafs.
A three. Okay, 3-goal lead meltdown. Gotcha.
At least, yeah, like
It's
just
got to be, I
a
guess,
multi-goal.
lead.
Like
yeah.
anything above 2 goals is a meltdown.
And this is like in the last 3 minutes.
It's gotta be the last
no,
period. Like, because
No,
it's not a
no, no,
meltdown
no.
if it's not the
No,
last
you blow
period.
a 3-0 lead. That you're getting a 3-0 lead because there's only a certain amount of ways to lose a game. We had to pick 5 of them. So 3-0 lead is you blow a 3 like you blow
Just give me third period.
you blow.
I'm feeling one
no,
very
no.
strongly. I'm feeling one very strongly. I hope when you guys pick it, I'll let you know
Okay.
what happens. But you got to dig deep. You guys can think
Okay.
while I'm.
Okay.
If
just-
Chippy's not going to give it to me, it's fine. But,
No.
You blow a 3-0 lead. You blow a 3+ goal lead. Like that's just doesn't matter.
but if it's in the first period, it's a lot
the
different
Leafs
than
did
in
it.
the
It was just
third.
as bad for the Leafs when they did
I feel meltdown is like a meltdown like that.
5-0
yeah.
lead, like
Unanimous.
3-0
Like
Yeah,
meltdown 3+ goal lead.
meltdown.
It doesn't have anything to do with time of the game though. Like if you
okay.
blow a 5-0, you could be up 5 goals in the first.
I know why you're doing this, and I'm still going to give you yours. You can't. So you're fine.
Mine's
Just-
I already know mine. Mine's
Okay.
you lose in the last minute of the game.
Okay.
You it's a tie game and you lose in the last minute of the game.
Okay. So
You score a goal and you
yeah,
you don't get a point.
that hurts, right? Where it's
gotta be
like
the worst.
you're working. Yeah.
So mine then I'm giving myself meltdown in the third period. Okay, like that's actually a thing. Like that's one. That's not more.
Then I'm
Is
gonna
that- is
say-
that your
then
first
I'm gonna
pick?
say
Yeah,
blowing a
okay,
5-goal
yeah.
lead and just I don't know. I feel like it's tough to say meltdown in the third.
Well, I mean, I think the definition of a meltdown, it's always near the end of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everyone thinks you got it, and then, oh, it's a meltdown. So
Yeah.
I don't think we really have to define it. Like a meltdown's a meltdown.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
meltdown.
That's fair.
Right,
That's fair.
Meltdown. I just how many more ways is there to lose?
Oh, trust me, I know a lot.
Jeremy's like, I've been through it.
Okay, Hayden, you're going.
My second pick, I really didn't think of this past the first one.
Yeah,
Oh
that's what I'm
my
saying, that's what I'm
goodness.
saying.
Um,
My
okay.
goodness.
Okay, I have one.
Whole
I have one.
category with your last pick.
I have one. You you're on the ice in the last minute of the game and you turn the puck over for a breakaway and they score.
That was
To win
mine.
the game.
Okay, no, now
No, that's that.
in the last minute, I must lose in the last minute of the game. So like,
Well,
I
essentially.
could have
Okay,
added.
okay,
I
no.
could have added. Oh,
No.
you turn it over and you're the goat. Like,
Hey, we're talking about how do you lose a game.
Okay.
You didn't lose
I
the
didn't know we
game.
could add
Take-
stuff. 'Cause
take
I would've-
away-
I would have added. I
No,
would have added. Oh, it's.
Shh, it's okay.
You know what I'm saying? No, so
Hold on.
Take
I'm
away
the moderator here. I'm the moderator. Please.
take away the last minute
Yeah.
and swap it with the game-winning goal. You
yeah,
you,
there
you
go.
give up a
Okay,
breakaway
I'll
for
allow-
the
that's-
game-winning
yeah,
goal.
that's acceptable.
But
Yeah.
we're talking about losing the game. You lose the game in the last few minutes. That's
True.
when it happens.
It's not
I-
over until it's
so-
yeah.
I've drafted that.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. If you're saying turnover, the turnover resulted in you losing the game, and that's
True,
when I
yeah.
felt like you've got the puck, like you just have to clear it out of the zone or something like that, and
But
and
you're
you.
giving up the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
Like you turned over the game-winning goal.
It comes off your
You could do
stick.
that in the second period though. It
Yeah,
could be a 1-1 game,
true.
and you're the goat, and you let it.
Okay.
But you don't think of it as losing the game unless it's like
Because there's a lot more
No,
that
if you
happens.
give up the game winner,
after.
you know it's the game
anyway.
winner.
We're fighting over semantics here.
yeah.
Here we go.
Let's just make our
Uh,
picks. And,
Chippy's second pick.
Mine.
You got to argue less so you can think more.
mine no, I already have mine. Mine's losing on Sunday of a tournament.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's the semis or the quarters. Just losing on the.
oh, after playing a whole tournament,
Yeah,
you're,
you-
you're
yeah,
losing
you
and you're
lose-
eliminated.
you lose on the Sunday of
Right. Yeah, that's
the
brutal.
finals or the semis. doesn't
You,
matter.
it's never fun to have played multiple games, get a chance, and then you're eliminated.
like exactly. You make the Sunday, but then you don't.
yeah.
It's like
Right.
you've had to stay. You weren't allowed to party last night.
Oh,
Play many sticks.
Yeah.
You lose on the Sunday, which makes
That's rough.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
tough stuff.
Yeah, that's a tough one. My third pick, this one might be a little bit off the board, but I've had it happen also in a tournament, ironically, and it's giving up a penalty shot in the last period of the game. And that ends up being the deciding thing because it's like you never want to give up a penalty shot. That's never fun. But to see the other, you have to sit there, watch the guy go down on his penalty shot and just
Yeah.
embarrass your goalie.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And like, especially if you're the one that tripped them, but
Yes.
or like whatever made the penalty shot happen, that's just no fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, my next pick is losing against the last place team in the league.
Oh.
Where you came in, you were overconfident, and you always just you play the last place team, and you guys are way too confident, and
Yeah.
then you just don't get it done, and then
Yeah, it's
your
tough.
coach after the game is like, it's like silence
Mm,
because you just lost the last place team in the league.
yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, my fourth pick. This one never feels good, and it's happened to me quite often. You get goalied, you get shut out, and you
Okay,
lose.
shut
Oh,
up. Yeah, no
okay.
goals, that's
The
tough.
goal, even like it, you could have 50 shots, but the goalie shuts you down.
Yeah, and you don't score.
And you
there's
don't
nothing to
score. It's
Celebrate.
nothing to celebrate. Yeah.
And you lose.
No silver lining.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine would just be you lose in overtime. An overtime loss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's like,
overtime is devastating.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
oh, I can't believe that fell. That's a
I
good one.
know. Overtime loss has to be.
That may be.
I had that. I
that
had
may
that
be
on a
top
Sunday.
3.
I had that on a Sunday.
I just
where
overlooked that.
We dominated the entire 4 minutes, and then
They
my
scored.
one buddy flipped it out, and they went in on a breakaway and scored, and that
Oh.
was devastating. Overtime loss is.
Damn. Okay, this one to round out my roster. This one never feels good. It's only ever happened to me once, I think, in my entire life, but I've seen it happen to guys. Your team loses after you got kicked out because you did something dumb.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
you have to watch.
interesting.
You have to
Your
watch
Dad-
from
your
the
dad's
stands.
Pissed and
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already in trouble, and your
like
team
that.
lost,
I like
and it's
that.
partially because of you, because you got like a 10-minute major or something.
yeah,
I had one written down close to that, but yeah, I kicked out. That's even worse.
Yeah.
yeah, that is brutal.
All right, the last pick of the draft. What do you got, Chippy?
Last pick of the draft. I'm gonna have to go with worst ways to lose. It's got to be. Man, there's we picked a lot of.
I've got an honorable mention if you don't.
Okay.
Get
I've got a few. I've got my whole team.
Yeah,
I
just-
think.
Just give me a second. Worst ways to lose.
He's diving deep into the archives here.
Feel it.
He's
feel it.
feeling the pain.
Think of Pee Wee hockey.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. I think the word
Think of something that hurt.
a playoff loss. Playoff series loss. A
Mm.
playoff series loss where you're
Oh.
done for the season.
Oh, the end of
Yeah,
the
that's gotta-
season.
That's
The end of the
you've lost
season.
you've lost the 5-game series, and in
See,
game 5. Game
that's-
5 loss.
That's specific, but I'd give it to you because to me that's kind of similar to the other pick. It's like an elimination game. You know, like
But
losing an
playoff- no,
elimination
a
game.
tournament.
OT
No, a
is-
tournament and a
yeah.
season is different.
No, he had one from the tournament, but I guess playoffs for
Playoff,
the entire season.
Like
it's-
you're done for the year.
yeah, that's heartbreak.
Like you heartbreak.
Yeah, my honorable mention before I let you do yours, Jared, was when the other team scores a nasty goal and comes past your line to Selly, and it's like with the last minute of the game, and you just know that
and-
it's going to be a battle
yeah.
to try to score to come back, but you can't do it.
That's hilarious. I went the other way. So for honorable mentions, when the worst player on the other team scores,
Oh yeah,
it's like a minute left, and like the guy like can't
Oh,
even.
and they all celebrate. On the other team,
Oh,
like, goes to the guy because
gosh.
he never scores.
Like,
yeah, the worst player on the team scores.
He muffins it from the blue line and like it
Flutters
flips
in.
in. So it was like, how did that
It's his
guy?
first goal in 3 years.
Yeah, it's like, how did
Are you
that guy get it?
serious, dude?
Like
Yeah.
we stopped everyone else, all their best players, and
And
that
they're
guy.
interdivisional rivals, so you know that guy never scores. Like you just know the player so well. Like you know the players on the other team, and you're like,
And that would go hand in hand with my other honorable mention. Like it's just a bad goal. Like they just score like you're doing everything right, and then they just
did that
Mm.
did that happen in the OMHA finals?
yeah.
We outshot the team a 50 to 8.
Oh,
They scored from center ice. The game winner was
a
from
center,
center ice.
center ice.
We hemmed, and not even that bad.
Ah.
We hemmed them in so bad for like I think it was like 2 minutes of like
Control.
Two
Yeah.
different lines, cycled it. We hit the post. Like this was our year. We went to the finals last year, the year before.
Yeah.
And this was our second back-to-back gold medal games.
Yeah.
We had lost the other one when we should have won it, and this was the year we were way better in this team. We hemmed them in. The guy was going off. He was so exhausted. He barely got to the red line,
Yeah.
and just like sent like a floater. Like he literally
Floats.
he shot it and then just turned to the bench to
Yeah.
get off because we just hemmed, like we dominated the game.
They were gassed.
And it
yeah.
went in. It went in from center ice in the gold medal game. We lost 2-1.
See, that's where that's your
2-1,
mistake. You
gold
Oh.
medal game winner, bro.
That's your mistake. You let your goalie get too cold. You didn't let him get warm.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, literally, literally, they were
No shots, and the only shot
literally-
he gets is from the
literally,
blue or
they
from the red
didn't
line.
Enter our zone. Like we were, like this was our year. Like
And-
we were number like 2.
Oh
in
my
Ontario.
gosh, it's
the
rough.
only team ahead of us were the Marlies. Like we were
That's
we
an
were at Silver Stick Sunday. We lost to Chicago Mission.
Mm.
Like
But
we
I-
were dirty.
That's a
dude.
mispick. Is when your goalie lets in a weak one.
It's just a
Oh,
bad goal.
Dude, how about a
right?
game winner in the last game of the season from after and we outshot them 50 to like 7.
And you know what?
We scored 2 flute goals.
I can sense the
It was-
dressing room.
Oh,
sense
dude,
the-
you can't even sense it. Like you
The-
can't. It was like we couldn't believe. And our
Yeah,
our
just
captain,
disbelief.
our captain,
And
went-
the
our
coach just be
captain
like,
goes in on a breakaway with 5 minutes. And this barn was packed. Like we were the best team in the country.
Yeah.
And the whole barn was watching this finals. And like I hit the post 3 times.
Oh.
We had a backdoor tap in.
yeah.
Like their goalie won the MVP. Like that's you.
Yeah.
Like their
Getting
goalie.
goalied. That was
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
and our captain goes in on a breakaway, best player in the league, best player in the country, and goes in and puts it over the net.
Yeah.
Hits the crossbar, goes over
Oh,
the net.
brutal.
Bro, I like devastated still. Like I was talking to my dad the other day.
Yeah.
That was the most devastating loss. OMHA finals.
All right, Jared. Let's
Oh my
recap the
God.
picks and then wrap her up.
Oh, I threw a few more to throw in there. If you're in the box, it's the last
Oh,
2
he
minutes.
scored on in the box.
You're in the box, and then
like
and you're,
yesterday.
yeah.
See, I had that one, but I was like getting ejected from the game is worse because
You know, yeah, that's why I said mine was close.
I
It's like
see. Yeah,
you-
yeah.
You take a penalty, you're in the box, and you watch their team scoring, you're like, frig, and you can't help but feel.
In the
Oh, to
last minute of
stack
the game.
that up, you're serving the penalty for the guy that got kicked out.
Yeah. Oh, that's even worse.
No,
Yeah.
brutal. Yeah, brutal. That's brutal.
And my last one is if it was a called back goal, like it's tied, you score, but then and you think you just won it, and then it gets called back,
Called back's brutal.
and then they win it in like OT or something, right? It's like
Yeah.
like
Damn.
you could have had a called back goal, or even 2 called back goals. Oh, we could have won if they.
You'd think that would never happen in men's league, but it's happened to us all the time.
We had 3 goals called back one game.
Yeah.
All right. So running down the list, worst ways to lose a game. We got Hayden with the meltdown, a turnover, literally like pucks on your stick, and it's in the back of your net. Whoops.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. We got the penalty shot. When you just have to, you can't do anything about it. You're just watching the guy come in and score on your goalie.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
sucks.
brutal.
You lose because of a shutout. You just get goalied.
Yeah, shutout.
You did everything you can. Your team just couldn't get one past them. And number 5, you got kicked out, and then the other team wins. And you just got to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Ouch. It's a bunch of bad ways to lose.
Not fun.
Bad ways to lose.
All been there though. It's part of the game.
Talking about bad ways
There's no
to lose.
highs if
Highs
there
and
aren't lows.
Yeah, exactly. You learn from these moments.
All right. We got Chippy first. Losing in the last minute. So it's like a tie game.
Devastating.
just that devastating feeling where it's like, yeah, you're doing everything, the other team scores. It's basically that
And
next
you have
goal
nothing to
win
do.
scenario.
It's the brutal moment because it's like last minute, and you have like no time to like.
Yeah.
It's not like it's 5 minutes.
No, no.
You just have no time to like reconvene. You're emotionally distraught, so you can't even like get
Yep.
your headspace.
Number 2, tournament. You've made it to the Sunday. You know, you got to stay the night. Like, oh, we still got a chance. We're in this, guys. And then you lose on Sunday. And it's like, now we're out.
Yeah, and you're driving home from Kitchener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, when you lose to the last place team. Oh, that's tough. Got the confidence is high. Boys, we're all getting points tonight.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
it's a
you're going up
points
against
night.
Oshawa.
Cruise
Let's
control.
pad the
Oh,
stats.
Oshawa,
Let's
and then
pad the stats. Easy win. And then, nope.
Damn.
silence in the room. Like
Yeah.
coach doesn't have a thing to say.
Yeah. Number 4, losing in OT. And then number 5, the end of the season. The loss that causes the end of your season. Ooh.
That should have been number 1, to be honest.
That's tough. Yeah. Playoff loss, elimination.
Yeah, like end of the year
Damn.
because it's like you're crying. Like
Especially if the series is all tied and it's like
Yeah.
the game to win or lose. It's not as like as you kind of have in the back of your mind if you're down 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, like it's
or
like it's
2-0.
like a game 5. Like it's
Yeah.
like do or die.
know what?
Everyone in your entire city's watching because they know it's like been a battle of a series. The AA kids are coming up to like that was the AAA games were always the entire age group would be
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the AA
Everyone's
dads
watching.
want to make the team, right? So the AAA games got so crazy like Allendale Blue or like Allendale Red
Would be packed.
would be packed.
Yeah.
And the barn would be like
Yeah.
it's Barrie versus Peterborough.
Yeah.
And the
electric.
best teams in the OMHA.
Oh,
Like
even that.
those were barn burners, dude.
Just like
Those were barn burners.
losing when the home at home when
And all the
everyone's
double A
there.
team, all the A kids want you to lose because they all want your spot on the team. Like the amount, how nasty that was,
That's
bro.
wild.
All the AA dads want you to lose. Like it's
Yep.
all, like, they're all not there to support you.
All right. So in the nature of the draft of the worst ways to lose, I'm not selecting a winner. You guys are both losers.
Yeah, it's a loser
Fair.
draft. Definitely
That's
a
fair.
loser draft. Doo-doo-ch.
Just kidding. Great draft. Great pod. Let's wrap it up.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
See
Yeah,
you
that
next
was a good
week.
episode, I think.
Good
Yeah,
episode.
that was great.
Gonna
I enjoyed
change
it.
the world
Hopefully you guys did too.
with my hockey stick.
We love spending time
Gonna
with you.
make a real
Every week,
difference.
keep tuning in and
Feed the
share it
poor
with a
out there.
and heal the
friend.
Do big
Share it
things.
with a friend. Share it with a friend.